We were gone last week because I was unavailable, and we're back at it now.
True story.
I'm doing things, that's why I've gotten quiet.
I was gonna say, I thought my thing cut off.
It definitely did. Just in time for me to kill your mooks. Or kill you guys like mooks. We will do quick introductions. Kenichi, you are first.
Why me? Hello. You see, hang on 1 second as I go mute the stream because wow, that's weird. Um, yes, Kenichi, your typical blue-skinned Oni from Japan, as a technomancer that is not really great at hacking, but does manage to be useful.
Typical and Oni in the same sentence. That's funny.
Yes, just your typical Oni from Japan, because everybody from Japan is a weeb, right?
Sure. And we have Jack, who is most definitely a weeb, I'm sure.
No, I don't think he identifies as that. Yeah, Jack is just a normal average guy, starting to come into his own. He's got some cool new spells, and he's going to be looking for a new set of armor because getting shot at is not fun. He is a handsome and charismatic human appearing elf, and only because he can shape change, and he uses that to get dates, get out of bar tabs, and help his runner friends, obviously.
Obviously. And next we have Andriger.
Andriger is a relatively young elven sorceress slash rigger, so mainly a rigger with a little bit of sorcery, and yep, she's new to the world of running, and just is a bit of a jack of all trades, or at least seems to be going that way.
And next we have Kai.
Kai is a street samurai with a really strong desire to rip open a wall with a monofilament chainsaw and mood hair and wings.
Because those are fantastic stealth decisions.
I mean, you have to be able to see them first, and that's been fixed with her most recent purchases.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have Clutch.
Hey, Clutch is the man with the van, even if he doesn't have a plan. Yeah, he's a rigger. He likes to fly things around and shoot things mostly, and fixes stuff for people. Apparently, for other people's enjoyment sometimes, and for breaking into stuff, things like that.
Just reasons.
Nice.
It has been approximately a week or so since your last job. You've been probably laying low a little bit, trying to stay out of trouble after dealing with things last session. Has anybody done anything significant?
Well, Jack was going to try and get that new armor.
And that has what availability?
It's availability 3, and it gives a +2 to. It's a cumulative +2 to damage rating. It's installed into whatever armor you want.
You have a. Is it illegal or just availability 3?
Just availability 3.
That should not be a problem to find. It wouldn't have been a 5-minute deal, but it wouldn't be too hard to find.
How much does that armor cost?
Kai,
3,000.
Maybe next time when I've got more cash.
Rigor and cash, huh?
Your friend Edna Mode has apparently taken up performing.
Oh,
What?
She was spotted on a cruise ship in an ice skating show. I'm showing it to everybody.
the ice capades.
No, it's just an ice show on a cruise ship.
Oh,
It's taking a minute to load because it was in 4K. This is exciting. Waiting for Roll20 to load. Ah, there we go. There's a grainy picture of Edna Mode. Tell me that's not Edna Mode.
I still don't see anything.
That is definitely Edna mode.
She seems a little young, in my opinion, but yeah.
Oh, I had to scroll up. There she is.
I saw that. You don't know the efforts I had to put in to try and get that picture because she was on the opposite side of the rink from me. I was like, that's Edna Mode. Jack needs a picture. Anyway, sorry for the distraction. By the way, guys, don't forget to watch the stream.
Yes, and for the people in the stream, Kai also got some RCS installed into their combat armor and a grapple gun.
Yeah, how does the grapple gun work for you in your install?
I assume that it just sort of shoots out of a shoulder. It's implanted into the chest or the torso, so that makes the most sense to me.
Is it like the gun from the Alien, or not, the Predator, where it pops up out of the shoulder and launches?
I figured it was more of like it just shoots out of the top of your shoulder because I figure you probably don't need too much articulation for it, but
Yeah.
your version probably makes more sense because
Well, I mean, you could be like the Boba Fett missile launcher,
yeah, I mean it could.
except
I
not
don't
on a backpack.
know. I figured it was probably one of those grapple hooks that's like a drywall anchor that just goes into the wall and then the pittons extend in the sides.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
But then again, it also has 60 meters of monowire attached to the anchor, so I don't know what buildings you would need to actually embed it in.
I don't follow the 60 meters of monowire just so that it can support your weight.
Well, no, but 60 meters of any kind of rope or anything would get you to the top of a 18-story building.
Yep. I mean, there's skyscrapers.
True.
And maybe you need it to go up and over and back down again.
That is fair. Or to use it as some kind of bizarre weapon.
So, go ahead.
That's just me. I was trying to get so I could type in the chat.
Oh, that's okay. Twitch likes it when people chat for the first time.
Oh, nice.
It's like gamification. It's like, ooh, first time chat. Woo. It likes it even more when people give me lots of money. So go ahead and test that feature.
Oh.
I'll take $1 million and a truckload of spending cash.
Nice.
Alrighty. So, like I said, it's been a little over a week, and you've been hanging out, making friends. Have you been doing anything other than getting those upgrades? Any working on contacts or anything fun like that?
I'm probably just tuning up the van. I didn't get a chance to load it, try and fix anything or upgrade anything. But
Didn't the fan get kind of beat up last time?
yeah, that's why I figure I'm kind of
Yeah, you were probably working on that.
working on that.
I feel like. Go ahead.
I was just wondering if the van repairs stuff is all just behind the scenes hand waved.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't take massive damage. It wasn't disabled or anything, so I don't see why it couldn't be. It's you had a week of extended tests to deal with it.
I'm bondoing bullet holes.
Hey, Bondo holds up till it doesn't.
If there would ever be a reason to do rolls for mechanical repairs, though, Kenny would be interested in trying to have a machine sprite to help out with that. Might be
That'd be
something
cool.
he could pull off.
That'd be cool. Next time, I'll get some upgrades. Next time, we can roll.
Well, if you've got to repair a hole, I can shape metal and shape plastic to patch it up.
Yeah. Of course, I won't be here next week, just so you know, because I'm on my honeymoon.
What? You choose your family over us? Good choice.
I know.
You may survive if you keep doing that.
Choosing your wife over your friends, man. Oh,
I know, right? Well, she's not my
Well-
wife yet until Monday.
well, she
Right,
will be
I
then,
mean-
though. It's your honeymoon, so she's technically got to be your wife by that stage, right?
Yep, exactly.
I would hope.
In theory. Well, have fun with that honeymoon thing.
I'll try.
Or, more importantly, make sure she has fun, because elsewise,
Exactly. That's pretty much our whole plan.
it may not go well.
All right.
Oh, I really hate when people at here.
I feel like Kai is going to continue to perform gun tricks for the children in Paradise Lane.
Oh, great. So are these kids like under the impression, or their parents under the impression that you're like some dressed up performer? Because, you know, the mood hair and the wings.
100%.
It's like, no, kids, these aren't real wings. Don't tug on them. They'll fall off.
100%. This is a street show complete with like a hat for people to toss like spare change into.
Are you doing your best impression of the famous the famous Shadowrunner Kai?
No, totally not. This is a different persona that is bi. That's spelled B-I-E.
Ah. It should be
Definitely
B-Y-E.
different.
It should be B-Y-E, because if they come up against you, they get a bye. I'm here all night, folks. So you all get your comlinks ring, and it is the caller ID looks familiar. It says Nikki.
Oh yeah, Nikki and that person.
Oh, this is the one that I used that AI to create the portrait for.
Nice.
That's why it's the proportions are
yeah.
a little weird.
You're looking. Yeah, Jack will pick it up.
So Nikki says, "Glad I caught you. I have some interesting work. If you think you can handle a little risk, come and meet me at the Urbane Brawl." She'll send you an address in Littleton of a restaurant and bar.
Yeah, Jack will check the coat check policies and hop in his Jeep and head over, picking up anyone on the way that needs it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take my van.
Oh wait, no, hopping in your van. Jack doesn't have a car.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like a great idea.
Jack's been doing some of the good stuff. He found Pill's stash. He thinks he's got a Jeep.
Andrigger, what do you think? Do you think P93 is too much to a meeting with a face? Or with
As
a
in-
Johnson?
As in the submachine gun, or?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it comes pre-equipped in Major, so probably not. I mean, I'm bringing Major along, and she's got one.
Enough said. Kai is going to strap submachine gun to their chest.
Okay. Like, is it concealed or is it just right there in the open?
Nope, it's just hanging on their chest. That way they won't spot the sliver gun and the pulsar in the hidden pockets.
I see. The old bait and switch. Well, as expected, any obvious armament you're asked to leave it outside or check it at the door, your choice. This place is not in a terrible part of town. It's in a decent part of town. It seems to be a fairly decent restaurant. If anybody checked the reviews, they have decent reviews on their food. It's not real food. It's, soy and krill, but it's high quality soy and krill.
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
Wunderbar. Once you deal with the whole weapons situation, nobody's really making a big stink about things. You're let in, and Nikki has a seat with a seat at a table with a view. That was hard for me to say. She's already there, already seated. She has ordered food and drink for all of you and herself.
Is she the one we ate out of house and home last time?
I think so. She was mission
Great.
2.
Well, obviously that means we need to teach her the lesson she refused to learn the first time around.
What's that?
Exactly. We
Eat
ate her out of house
all
and
of
home again.
Yeah, I don't think I saw her. I think I was in mission 3.
Yeah, you came in later than that. I shared the picture of her with you, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. So, she says it's good to see you all again. I have a lucrative job that sounds riskier than it probably is. And as you may recall from last time, Nikki is very friendly, very forthcoming. She seems like she is putting off everything just to talk to you and deal with you as her runners. She gives you the impression of being very, very engaged with whoever she happens to be speaking to at the moment and the entire group.
Sounds like she's trying to downplay us.
But anyway, she says, I have a lucrative job that sounds riskier than it probably is. There's no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. I want you to steal from Ghostwalker. Technically. Only technically, though.
Andriga will have been eating and drinking, and she will spit out her food in that sort of a...
You okay?
I mean, that's a big risk. You need to
So-
stuff like that down low.
So you remember the heist at the warehouse that you did for me? Ms. Johnson, Vishala, wants to recreate some of the experiments that she learned about from that data. But she needs a powerful spirit summoning focus to set it up. As you may already know, Ghostwalker does not like people summoning spirits in his city. If you get caught with spirit foci summoning gear, you get it taken off of you, and other things happen. The confiscated foci are stored in a secure government facility. Now, though, with Ghostwalker's attention elsewhere, and with the recent changes to the city, I think there's a good chance for a skilled, resourceful group like yourselves to break in and bring me back a focus or 2 or 5.
So we're just reprocuring items.
Yes, it's liberating. You're liberating ill-gotten gains. Never mind
I'm
that
all
it's...
about freedom, but if we're going to be pissing in Ghostwalker's Cheerios, we should really be compensated fairly.
Well, I mean, he's distracted, so is it really going to matter?
Or even overfairly, or
So I am offering significantly more than the normal rate for this job. And the location is a storage facility underneath a train museum. So, you get to see the train museum. That should be worth something.
I'm sorry, I wasn't here for the normal rate.
What you end up finding out, she's offering $12K each.
Andriga will say, I think you should probably go higher, considering. What do you think, Jack?
I'm still under the. I mean, we do remember those experiments, right? And we need to have a sidebar here, guys.
The experiments were not her job. Her job was the, well, kind of. Her job was the warehouse with the pop-up building inside it that had the Fido that Kai took out in like 2 rounds.
Yeah, that almost took Kai out too.
Yeah, but you outlived it, so we're just going to pretend it wasn't that tough.
That's fair,
Okay,
but it only actually hit Kai once.
So this isn't. So this isn't the people that were. Okay, so no, it was As Technology that we thought was doing the experiments on technomancers and mages, right?
Yes, that was who you thought was doing the job. That's who you reported to Kat.
Okay, so that's not this experimentation. It's a different. What type of experimentation was in Mission 2?
It wasn't experimentation. There was a magic circle that had residue of like grenades, and there were like little ping marks from shrapnel around the warehouse. But the warehouse had been used for other things. It was not like it had been cleaned up before these people moved in. You just got data that you shared.
Yeah, well, obviously that was a very dangerous situation with the grenades and the ping marks and stuff. So we need more.
What?
Yeah, anytime there's grenades, I feel we should be getting
Well, the grenades were long before you, were they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was the one where you were using grenades. The smoke grenade.
Yeah, because I don't like it when people throw grenades at my stuff. Like,
Well,
And
you're the one that threw
there's
them.
like a really nasty dog and some summon stuff. It seems like
Yeah, there was a
this job
hellhound.
could be a lot more dangerous. It was a lot more dangerous than you led us to expect that time, so we have no other recourse than to upcharge you this time.
What is the why are you doing unskilled skill use?
I don't know.
Because Andriga has no negotiation skill.
Oh, you can't help with negotiation without a skill. That's not one I'm going to let you teamwork without the skill.
Okay.
But Clutch rolled, right? You rolled 2
Yeah.
hits. Did anybody else want to help with that?
Yeah, Kenny was going to point out that, I mean, even if Ghostwalker is distracted, they run the risk of, if there's anything to tie back and it comes across Ghostwalker's radar later, they could easily get taken out because,
Well, that sounds like you need your mages and hackers to clean up after you.
Yeah, but I mean,
I would probably recommend that you're extra careful with that part of things as well.
well, we saw how well Kenny's argument worked there.
Yeah,
It
there's
seems to have worked
cleaning
quite
and
well.
there's cleaning, so
Yeah, negotiation 1 is almost worth it, especially if you got some charisma. So Jack, you have, unless yeah, there you go.
yes.
Kai cannot help.
Can he hinder? Because I'm all for that.
Kai
So-
could definitely hinder.
So you got 8 hits versus her million dice pool. Holy crap!
That's not cool, lady. That's just not
That
cool.
was a 13 dice pool.
Wow.
I'm going to enjoy this tonight if it keeps up.
Well, Jack, would you like people to feed you some edge?
Yeah, there's the option to spend edge.
I'm double checking, but I think I don't remember what Coyote mentor spray. I think Coyote takes me down for certain things, but I don't know if it was influence. So I will take 1 edge and I'll spend all my edge to reroll my misses because I'm nice and I won't just force her to just reroll a bunch of successes. How's that sound?
So you're doing the 4 edge reroll misses?
Yeah.
Is that doesn't Coyote make that cheaper?
I have to look. I thought I had it in my list, but I'm not sure.
I have the PDF open. I will look it up.
163.
Yep, that's where I am. Edge boost cost 1 less for con.
No, this is influence.
Free vocal control. If you're an adept, magician gets yeah. Wait, what are you?
I'm a mystic adept.
So where does that fall into things?
You use the magician or the adept. You choose one or the other.
Oh, did you choose the vocal control?
No. I chose the magician.
Yeah, so it's 1 less for preparations, spells, and rituals that are manipulation.
Yeah, because fashion and some of the
That's
physical
right,
barrier, that's manipulation. So I'll just reroll 12 and I'll spend 3 edge because I have 1 mastery edge from this.
Well, that gives you 4 more hits, so that's
Oh.
yeah, that's not terrible at all. So you're plus 12 to 7 is plus 5. I have to get it back to the right PDF.
And Jack, you said you needed someone to give you some edge, so I will spend 2 edge to give you an edge.
Yeah, Jack just needed 1 edge. Now I'm out.
Oh, when I was doing prep, I forgot to do picking up the pieces, dummy. Give me a second. I just gotta start it. I'll write it while you're planning things. Okay, so she will eventually relent to your arguments and raise her rate of pay to 14.5.
Okay, that sounds good.
That seems fair for potentially having to skedaddle very quickly out of the city.
Let's say it's all well and good until you have to run.
Look, Dr. Hansen is probably already getting very antsy that I haven't come by to get my cyberware checked out in a while.
Is that your street doc?
Yeah, but she works out of Seattle.
All right, so she does have a fair bit of information that she will share with you. She has the original floor plan from when the museum was built and the facility underneath it. She knows the security company with the contract to guard it on behalf of the city, and has even managed to get you a copy of the physical key used for a maintenance shaft. See? Milk run.
In my experience, the easier the run looks at the outset, the more likely there is something to tip the glass over.
So let's see here. Whoops. If you have any questions, she will be happy to try and help you. Oh, by the way, there's no need to mention this to Kat. She, I don't think, is technically into upsetting Ghostwalker.
Is there any resources? Did you have any maps of facilities or?
Oh yeah, she gave you the original maps. I mean, she doesn't have the map as of yesterday, but she gives you the original map of the facility, the train museum, and the physical key for the maintenance shaft, and the name of the guard company.
Which is,
I'm not telling you. It's Train Museum Security Incorporated. Their specialty company.
okay. Um,
Instead of like police hats or security guard baseball caps, they have to wear train conductor hats.
okay.
All right then.
Any, well, I guess the rest of the information will have to do with our own legwork.
Yes,
Sounds like a deal.
and I'll tell you that the legwork's going to really rely on the type of contact you're reaching out to. And there's. Go ahead.
We were told specifically which objects we were trying to retrieve.
So she wants, in her words, break into this facility and grab a great big summoning focus and bring it back to me. If you bring back multiple powerful foci, then we might be able to talk about compensation. Can't do it for too many, and good luck pawning anything like that in the area. Keep in mind this stuff's probably been cataloged.
Right. I'm sure it would have like astral signatures and stuff that would be.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
So basically, it doesn't matter what we grab. We have to grab just a summoning focus.
A powerful summoning focus. You're a technomancer. You may not understand that, but there's different power levels to these things.
Yeah, like how are we supposed to know which one's the powerful one?
Well, I would
Obviously,
hope
the biggest one.
I would hope you have people that are able to sense these things.
I'll figure it out.
We have one.
I was gonna say, and if we don't have one, we can rent one. I don't know how this works, man.
Andriga can do it. She's just, got a relatively minimal dice pool to do so.
Yeah. Well, that's
I
great.
suspect Jack will probably have to be the one to boost her initiative, her intuition, so that she can maximize her dice pool for that.
Well, keep in mind also it's a government facility. This is a free legwork. It's a government facility. The governments like to track everything in databases and things like that.
With
Sounds great.
the train museum, since it's a government facility, what megacorp do does their security company usually utilize for their equipment? Like, do they use Ares, Renroku?
Unknown.
Hmm.
All right.
It's probably it's probably just lowest bidder type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we could probably find that stuff out.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate that in our legwork.
All right. Well, let's. I guess we get out of here and start doing some legwork.
Alrighty.
Finally check.
Excuse me, miss. Can I get a box for this?
They'll give you a to-go box.
Why do I imagine Clutch is constantly smoking a cigar?
Hey, could be.
Is it clutched in his teeth?
Maybe. I don't
At the end of a run, he says, "I love it when a plan comes together."
Eh.
I don't know about I got a plan about that, but yeah, sure.
We are indeed the A team, because we're the only team.
That's what you think. All right, so
At the very least, we are a team.
exactly, you are a team.
We are the AA team. One of the A teams. All right. I'll pack back into the van and start doing some work.
So, right off the bat, Kenny wants to see if he can track down pictures online of security guard uniforms. He feels like Jack might need those.
Yeah, that'd be
I'll
good.
help Kenny out.
And I'll start looking to see who set up their security, since I got some security contacts.
Can you teamwork a matrix search, or do we have to do it individually?
Who wants some augmentations? I should probably do mine first. This always takes
Hack
so
and
long.
Slash has a way for people to let other people who have legal or who have administrative access to a system let other people in.
That's interesting. I haven't read the book yet, so we won't be using those rules unless they're quick.
It's just an action.
No, I mean,
us.
it's something that I'll probably have to read up. So this session definitely not. I'm gonna have to read through it. It may take a session or two before I'm fully up to speed. But if you have something specific you want to use out of Hack and Slash, put it in the Discord so that I can focus on reading that section first.
You're good. I just was immediately reminded when I remembered that.
Yeah, because we were talking about that 2 weeks ago. Was somebody getting in, not being able to let the other guy in?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing all your fun things? Okay.
Yeah, I took one drain from that,
Oh no.
but I got myself an edge.
I take one drain, but at least I get +2 to my intuition.
Jack will now increase attributes on Kenny. What did you want? Kenny logic, intuition?
Intuition for this. I feel like
Sorry, I hit that accidentally.
Oh, I was going to click buttons. I was like, oh, I get to roll dice. You know,
Right.
Kai is the only one who hasn't used their super edge yet.
So 6 for
That's
Kenny.
not true. Remember, I got an extra super edge for my pro tip about the plant spirit.
you can't
so
boost over original attribute level, right?
you can add 4.
Yeah.
Oh, 1.5.
Wait, who was that? Who was that had the other super edge? Who was that?
No, the reason I currently have super edge. This is Kai.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now I understand.
The joke that I told.
Right, yes, because you made me laugh really hard. I don't even remember the joke, but it was good.
Pro tip: don't stick a cactus plant spirit in your mouth.
Yes.
I am gonna use that contact though, because his aeronautics is in security drones, so he's the one that taught me.
So what are you trying to find out from him?
Basically, if he knows who set up their security system, because that's basically what his specialty is in aeronautics and engineering. So he's the one that taught me the security systems. That's why I got that knowledge, security systems. So
Okay, so he doesn't know a whole lot about it. It's probably some government bureaucrat set it all up.
all right,
Because keep in mind, Ghostwalker basically booted the Big Ten out. He doesn't want a whole lot to deal with them. He does a lot of things with his own people.
gotcha.
He especially doesn't like as technology. They're barely allowed to exist in the area. They definitely don't have much of a footprint.
They're only barely willing to tolerate the stuffer shacks.
Yeah. Well, the stuffer shacks are okay, but the more overt stuff is not allowed. So, any other contacts, matrix searches, etc.?
I'd like to talk to my buddy at Ares to see what information he has about the train museum as a way to stick it to Ghostwalker.
There's macro tech, huh? Why do I recognize that picture?
It's a fan picture of a character from the Wheel of Time.
Ah, that's why.
Uses it every adventure. That's his contact.
Yeah, that's probably why.
All my contacts are out of Seattle because I wanted Kai to be based out of Seattle, but that means that the opportunities to contact a cyberdock and a black market fence that are based out of Seattle are not very high.
Well, they might have friends in Denver.
I don't know that they'd have friends that would be helpful for this.
No, in this instance, no. The museum's records are public. He can get you plenty of information on that. Is it Julien or Julian?
Julin.
Julien, okay.
He's from an area in the book that's very heavily influenced by France.
Pretty much anyone who's anyone in the Shadows or corporate world realize that there's a focused storage facility below the museum. People are pretty vague on the security. No one's ever considered hitting the place because, hello, it's a huge stockpile of foci, and there's a dragon interested in it. Anyone caught in the city with summoning foci is going to have a very hard go. And it'd probably be really hard to smuggle it out of the city to sell it somewhere else. Theoretically priceless, effectively worthless. That's what you get from it.
So if someone were to break some of those foci out, would you be interested in buying them?
No, not touching that with a 10-foot stick. Or even borrowed hands. Yeah, hands, that's what we're going to say.
Ah, well. Can't blame a gal for trying.
Nope. So, anybody else doing anything? More contacts, matrix search, etc.
Well,
I got 6.
Physical, actual on-site scouting.
that was my next thing. I was to drive the van by and get some drones out and start looking around.
I got 6 hits on my matrix search to find out what I can about the place.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that. I saw matrix search, but it was with all the other stuff, so it got lost.
All good.
Matrix search. The museum barely has a presence. It's like a really, it's like a, it's like a, it's like a MySpace site. It's like poorly maintained public matrix site for the museum itself. Obviously, it's decades old. Looks like it might have even been migrated from the original Matrix before the first crash. Obviously, there's nothing about the storage facility mentioned on the train site. There is a security connection to the city, however, so that means, if alarms are sounded, that somebody will know about it. And apparently, hackers are pretty keen on to hack that local host.
What sort of ratings the local host? Do I get to find that out with the search or?
No.
Anyone got a data tap?
I have one data tap.
You want me to stick it on there?
What are you going to stick it on? So I don't know if you're understanding yet. This is a train museum. So I'll give you a basic description of the layout. It's a train museum, big space, lots of trains, tracks, fun stuff like that, because train museums are cool. It's the old Colorado Rail Museum. Around the back of the building is a shed. And beside the shed are 2 guards, the only place that actually has guards. There looks to be like a hatch behind the shed with a padlock on it. That's the door you were told about and that you have a key for. Not behind the shed, beside it. It's within sight of the guards at all times. And you can guess that shed is somehow an entrance to the facility.
I was meaning when I said there, I meant the alarm that you said we saw connected to.
Well, no, that's just something you discovered on the Matrix search. It's just you're
That's
aware
fine,
that it
Steve.
is alarmed. You don't know where it's probably a Wi-Fi connection to the Matrix.
So Kenny still wanted to try and track down actual images of these guards,
Okay.
and if necessary, if he can follow back to any type of Matrix presence for this actual company, and if he has to, maybe find out some of the people that work there and check out their Facebook pages or whatever.
And do
Me
we
feed.
not have any riggers that have a drone with a camera on it?
Yeah, we've got like 19 gnats, don't we?
Gnats are not great if you're trying to get that good of a. They're not camera drones, so that's something that we've been letting happen. But they're not camera drones.
I have cyber eyes that can be used to get an image if you're looking for like a image of what their uniforms look like.
I mean, tourists probably have pictures on the internet or on the Matrix. There's a picture of a guard is not hard to get.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't like when I read the roto. It says I can change out the gun for a camera
Yep.
rig setup for like 5 minutes. So I thought it came with a camera, but if I have to pay for it, that's fine. I just thought it already had one. So
Yeah, their cameras actually aren't even listed until no future.
okay.
I don't know. Have I uploaded that PDF for you guys?
I don't think so.
And that's only a pro camera. There's actually no just basic camera.
Well, the ProCam is the basic camera. It's just how much crap you pack into it. There's gun cams also, which are a little different. I think they're in the CRB, but that's not like surveillance quality as far as I'm concerned.
Because I thought it had a camera rig on it.
Yeah, the way it reads, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my fault. So if I had to pay extra for it, I'm gonna get one for my roto drone. That's the whole reason. One of the reasons I got the roto drone.
That's your spying eye in the sky.
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm going to give you access to the no future PDF. Why do I have 2 copies of it? Oh, one's old. This may fail. It'll take a minute, but go ahead. What else were you doing? You'll be able to get the images of the uniform that you're looking for.
Okay. That's good, because I only had 3 hits.
What were you hoping to find? Just a picture of the uniform?
Something that's detailed enough to get that Jack can work with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, between tourists, well, what few tourists there are to that place, it's kind of a forgotten place. You can pretty much figure out that the train museum only exists as a front for the foci storage.
Does the security company have any sort of Matrix presence, like a Matrix site or anything?
Sure, they have a presence, but it won't. What are you hoping to accomplish?
Um, if necessary, trying to make sure that we're not going to have any hitches passing ourselves off as guards, but that might require a whole other deal
Well,
trying to get into their host.
so yeah, the guard roster would be handled on a different host, not the security company's host. They just supply the bodies, but the bodies are basically subcontractors to whoever. So their schedules and pay and all are handled by the 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 contractor's host.
Are we going to pull what we pulled last job and insert ourselves into their roster?
I mean, we are going to have to pass ourselves off as guards. That's basically, unless somebody has another idea for getting down there.
I can, like I said, I got the security system knowledge, and I know about the security drone, so I could be a security rigger.
I used to work as um, part of a law enforcement corp, so I could also, work as a guard.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for. I mean, I'll just head down there and just kind of start wandering around, see what kind of trouble I can get into.
I mean, there's a public museum. The cost to get into it is going to basically be covered by your lifestyle.
Jack's gonna head down to the museum just to walk the space. And on the way there, he'll find someone's face, and he'll go ahead and put that on.
Is there any noise, like matrix noise, around the site?
Not that you notice, no.
Yeah, I mean there might be once we get into a deep underground cabin like the last time, but around the train station, whatnot, there's not.
Yeah, obviously underground is going to have some interference because of the ground.
Okay. Andriga will go along with Jack. She pretended to be on a date with Kenny, so she can pretend to be on a date with Jack. And
Jack will find a female, so we can have a girl stay out.
Okay, even better. Yeah. A couple of girls just hanging out and weeking out over trains, because most girls love trains, right?
Yes, of course.
Let's not get into that.
That's awesome, because that No Future book, I actually own that. It's in my hand right now. I just forgot about it. All right.
Do you have the one with the AR cover, which is really cool?
Yeah.
And the AR pages. I thought that was one of the first books I bought. I was like, that is so cool.
That is the first book I bought for 6th edition.
So the museum is still technically open. It's pretty empty. You get the feeling that on any given week they might have a handful of people visit throughout the whole week. There's a couple of employees and a handful of volunteers working. They will talk your ear off about trains because they're real fanatics. In the museum itself, there seems to be virtually no security. Like one board employee that's got like a badge, but not really a security guy. You know what I mean? Maybe a janitor that found a badge. It's hard to tell.
It's one of those places where you walk in and people are shocked that somebody's actually came in.
Yes. It's like a dying what? It's like a dying tourist trap that just doesn't finally end completely. But yeah, the museum's a pretty big area. There's barns with different trains, but oddly enough, there's no homeless because they're open air, so it's not like it's out of the weather and stuff. So even the homeless people aren't really interested in the train museum. And yes, there's a concrete pad guarded by 4 security guards when you're there that stands kind of separate from the rest of the museum. And yeah, as I described earlier, it has a little hatch on the ground and then double doors on the front of it.
So there's no like train cabooses or anything. It's just the engines themselves. So
Yeah, there's cabooses, different types of train cars, engines, locomotives, steam engines, diesel engines, coal fired.
well, obviously the homeless are going to be interested in those cabooses. I mean, that's shelter, right?
Not if all the windows are removed and they're like open air, or if they're locked up. Either way. So
They
yeah,
probably also
the structure on the pad that you're interested in is about the size of a shipping container along one side.
I've got cyber eyes, and they have an inbuilt camera. I assume I can just feed that through to my comlink and just record detailed pictures of the guards' faces, right? So
Yeah.
they can get up close pictures that way of the individual guards on duty, right?
Yeah, if you like to.
See,
They have partial their faces are partially obscured. Yeah, I was trying to say obscuration. I was like, that's not a word.
obfuscated.
Obfuscated. That's the word I was looking for. So it would be hard to look like them because you're not getting a full. I feel like that's a common thing with people able to change their faces, that security would kind of obfuscate their features.
That's fine. That means we can obfuscate our features. And then
That's true. Works both ways.
Yeah. That sounds like a plan.
Also, you could always wear like a combat helmet.
Well, that's not part of the guard's uniform, though, right?
They have helmets. Yes, some of them.
That's odd.
We will probably need to change like any decals or anything on our armor, but
Yeah, I can usually
I'm
help with that.
can I go to one of my like the criminal contacts and see if we can get us some fake IDs, basically. So when we go in there and they record our identification, I don't burn my only fake ID I got right now.
That's something you should have been doing over the last week.
Yeah, I know. Well, I meant that we actually work there, kind of fake ID.
You can see what they can tell you, but the likelihood of even a passable fake sin on short notice is pretty low.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, I
if
was gonna say.
like
you're
a
looking-
government fake, ID kind of thing. So like,
I mean, in the sixth world, everything's tied to a sin, right?
right. So I didn't know if there was a way to do that. All right.
I mean, the best we could probably pull off is some sort of a badge to scan that links back to something. But if it's tied to a sin, yeah.
Can we spoof other people's sins that
No.
are already set up? No.
no, that's
That just
getting a
that
fake
just
sin.
derails the whole risk of losing a sin thing.
If why do we need to give them a sin though?
I don't follow.
No, I'm asking Kenny.
Oh.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know
just
that we do.
I'm just saying that like when they scan you, usually they see your sin, won't they?
They see whatever sin you're broadcasting.
Right. Exactly.
If you're not broadcasting a sin, that's suspicious. If you're broadcasting a bad sin, depends on how closely they're looking. If they're just looking, oh, that guy's got a sin, good enough.
I guess I should get a backup sin sometime. Yeah.
Probably a good plan.
Probably a good plan.
Ditto.
Yeah. So I guess I'm the only one who has a sin worth burning.
I mean, I will use mine, but if I burn it, I guess I get a new one.
I mean, I'm fine with having my really bad sin getting burned. That's not a problem.
There you go. I did.
So, Jack and not Zen, Antrigger were at the facility just looking around. You didn't do any astral or matrix perceptions or anything?
Well, I said I was driving the van to do the drone, so I'm probably there too. But I'll stay outside and look at with the drones.
Yeah, I'll definitely do some astral observing. By the way, I did end up taking mask. I just double checked. Masking, and I am most assuredly masking my aura.
All right.
Juz, I want to do something that's probably a bad idea, but can I enter the museum and then palm a couple of stealth tags into the pockets of a couple of the guards to try and get them to give us a layout of the underground area?
The guards aren't really in the museum. The only place you see legitimate guards are at that one building.
Kai is more than happy to pretend like they're a confused tourist that's like, what's over here?
And can we also scout out where the key? Because we have a key to some kind of maintenance hatch or something.
Yeah, so maybe this is an actual instance where I need to draw something. So let's go to our drawing map here that we used previously.
I'd shift project and just look around and.
Oh, did you give me your sensing? Yes, you did. 5. This place has strong astral security. The building on the concrete pad that you're most interested in has a rating 9 ward on it. But the security guard office is outside that ward. There are also a half a dozen basic watcher spirits drifting lazily about the entire complex. And when you guys walked in, as soon as you started perceiving astrally, you noticed that one of them flew over to the security guards.
Yeah, I'd have done that from the outside with my aura mask. So walking later if it looks okay. But okay, so I pass on all that information to the rest of the party.
So let me draw some things to discuss amongst yourselves.
Well, the stealth tags that I have aren't super useful, but I figure since they record their positions, if I can slip a couple of them into some of the guards that then go down underground, we can verify a little bit whether or not the underground portion is still similar to the maps that we have, because they'll record their positions and then at some later time upload that information to whatever device I designate.
So
I'm going to give you a layout of guards because I'm nice.
sweet.
Do other people think this is a good idea?
Him drawing where the guards are? Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Are you referring to trying to put stealth tags in these people's pockets?
Yeah.
what do stealth tags do again?
They're just little devices that are little RFID chips that
Tell us
can
where they're at.
scan or that keep track of where they're located. They can do a bunch of different things, but I figured this way we could
Sure.
try and map the underground section of the museum.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt as long as we they don't find them, I guess.
I mean, I don't know how much of a risk there is if they find them later in their pocket. Outside of knowing that, heightening security because they know something's happening, I don't know that
Right.
they'd be able to tie back to us. But
Right. Yeah, that's what I
if
was
they
saying.
catch you trying to put them in their pockets, that's bad. We don't know you.
I'm not too worried that they'll catch me.
All right, that's a basic layout. I mean, I could draw the pad, but basically the dark blue building or dark blue rectangle would be like the shipping container size building. Um, you probably could have, with the drones, glanced through the door as somebody came and went to see that the light blue square is probably an elevator. You know that there's 4 people total in the building that you've seen. And the little red square here is the hatch. It's probably a little bigger than that, but that's the hatch with the padlock on it. And then the rectangle here is the doors.
From my sensing, do any of them look like they are mundane? I mean, like awakened, or are they all mundane?
Yes, 2 of them are awakened, the ones that are inside currently.
So we would have to distract these guys just to get to the hatch without them seeing us. That's something.
And where did the astral barrier start at?
The elevator.
But there are spirits watching the area.
There are half a dozen watcher spirits, yes. And they seemed to be reporting on comings and goings.
Can I set one of my stealth tags to record the number of unique devices that pass or that it can connect to, and then just put it like right here, so that way we can get an idea of how many people go in and out of the facility in a given like 24-hour period?
So you're just going to have the drone kind of fly over and drop it?
No, it's an I was gonna have Kai just walk over and like push it into the wall.
Oh, you won't get that close. They will stop you before you get close.
Okay.
That's the one place that you actually will be accosted is if you get within, basically, if you were able to get onto the map here, they're going to accost you.
Well, I could definitely put a stealth tag on them when they accost me then.
That's true. You can try. How's Matt Mercer say it? You can certainly try.
What do other people think?
I don't have a problem with you trying to put it in the pockets. It's just don't get caught.
Yeah. Also, though, if you're trying to map the underground area, I wonder how noise would play into it. But even if it does, that would also just give us an idea of what noise we're dealing with.
I feel like these stealth tags, they're not very well defined, at least from what I've seen. But I feel like they'd be kind of like a small version of an Apple Watch.
Well, so what I was thinking of was set them to try and transmit like essentially in 12 hours when whoever you put them on has already left the facility, like they're done with their shift.
Yeah,
So
did they give us a time limit on this?
they can store data for 24 hours.
No, I meant, but a time limit on getting this focus. Did she, Nikki, give us a time limit?
Wasn't there an event going on or something?
Hello.
There was a reason why Ghostwalker was going to be distracted, I thought.
Yeah.
And we can assume that that distraction is not going to be forever, right?
I'm assuming. Chuz, is there?
What was the question? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were asking me something.
Oh yeah, is there a time limit on like when we had to get this focus by? Because you said they're going to be distracted. Is there an event going on, and when's it over? And
Wait, who said they would be distracted?
Nikki said that Ghostwalker would be distracted for a while.
No, Ghostwalker is distracted by world events,
Right. So is there
not the guards.
Did she give us a time limit of when we have to get this focus by?
You have a reasonable amount of time, but the sooner the better, because things are moving in the shadows.
Gotcha. I was just wondering if we could like track a couple days worth of the guards going and coming and seeing if maybe we could get one of them at home or something, and then masquerade as them going in, kind of thing.
Well, the other thing is, do the guards never go down the elevator, or like if they're only ever staying up on the surface, then?
Well, how long are you observing?
Well, that's why I was asking if there's a time limit. We probably not too long, but I was gonna see if they can see if we can watch them when they switch shifts, when they go home, when they come back, where a couple of them live. Maybe you can slip the stealth tags on them while they're not on the facility, so it'll be less. You accidentally bump onto them on the street and place it. It'll be less likely that they trace it back to.
So, what information are you trying to gather?
Like when the shifts change, where the guards go, see if we can follow one away from the facility to see if we can mark something on them, see who works at certain days. That's why I didn't know how long we got to do this. So
Also, do any of them go down the elevator, or are there any ever staying on the surface?
So you would trying to figure out. You're asking for a lot all at once.
yeah, right. I was just
It depends.
Maybe we should.
So you have time. You're not in a time crunch. It's not like this has to happen tomorrow. But obviously, the longer you take, and the more often the same people are noticed by these watcher spirits, the more suspicious things are going to be. There's nothing that says you can't. There's nothing that says you can't try and palm something into somebody's uniform on the way to or from work. Again, that's just going to be some rolls.
all right. Well, the watcher spirits, they can't really see mundane people anyways, right? So they wouldn't know if I was there.
They wouldn't know you from any other mundane. I think my understanding is that they would see auras, but if you're not magic, you don't really have an aura. You're just life force.
And I
Kai is
barely
also mundane, so
Can I suggest that while we're doing other legwork, calling contacts, stuff like that, one of the riggers floats a drone, well, or we take shifts between drones and real people or whatnot, and just generally try and get a 24-hour cycle of observation on this place to see what the normal guard cycle is and if anything interesting happens.
exactly.
And particularly if any guards or anyone comes in or out the elevator.
So okay. So just general observation from outside the space, over the course of 24 to 48 hours, you'll see that there are changes of guard. There appear to be 4 or 5 guards exterior or topside, and 4 or 5 people inside. Maybe 6 or 7 inside. It's hard to tell because if you're not like right on top of them, they all kind of look the same, uniforms and all. They do have shifts, and there's only 4 that stay topside, and then the rest go down the elevator and disappear until the end of their shift. Does that help?
Yep.
Yes.
It's the ones that go down the elevator that we're interested in replicating if we do try to replicate.
And did anybody ever do a matrix perception?
I can do that again, or I can help Kenny because he'll
Yeah,
undoubtedly be better.
I can help, but I can't do much other than help.
Give me 1 second.
Can I teamwork with Kenny to help him, or?
Yeah, I
just do it
guess.
myself?
Alright, so at some point, Andrigger and Kenny would probably wander back through.
I'm still laughing at Andrigger literally making their aura look like they're literal arm candy, like they're a focus on Jack's arm.
I can do that. That's true. Yeah.
Exactly. The spirits are like, wow.
Focus.
You're what?
Living, breathing, focus.
Yeah.
Did you want perception or search?
It's matrix perception. I don't want it. It's up to you guys if you're going to do it. That's how you tell what kind of matrix security you're going to run into, right? So you've got one hit to add to Kenny's dice pool. Oh, the wild die knocked 3 off of you.
Well, lucky Kenny pulled the.
He pulled the 5 and got 2 out of that. So 6 hits. You are aware that there's miscellaneous comm links and such. They are all protected by a host, and the host appears to be rating 8.
So
Right.
rating 9.
And Kenny struggles with a rating 7.
Rating-
Yeah.
And I can't do more than a rating 3. So.
Honestly, I wouldn't have expected anything less.
But there is no noise, so that's working in your favor. You can try and hack. And yeah, the astral's definitely also pretty hardened.
It's almost like these people work for a dragon, and the dragon is very aware of this stuff and invests heavily in it.
I did have an out of character thought. Whenever we do eventually get these artifacts and start bringing them out, do we have a way of masking their astral signature?
I'd have to bond to one of them, and I don't have enough karma to do that, so no.
So is it going to be like we're trying to carry strobe lights out of this facility?
We only have to put them in a box. Astral vision is stopped by any layer of non-living stuff.
Yep.
Hey, just put them in our coats.
Well, I think I'm going to say it needs to be a little bit more than clothing, but a box is fine.
A lead line box.
I mean, cardboard would also work.
Well, I've got a.
So to me, cardboard is of natural origin.
Yeah.
Yes,
was
but
living.
isn't it dead?
Yeah, it was living. It's not anymore, but
It's pulped wood.
It's
so that would
literally been beaten to a pulp.
Yeah, so wouldn't that just be like about as living as like a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton that's been calcified and
You are the
is
best
actually
kind
raw?
of correct. You are technically correct, but I'm still not going to allow it. I just feel like, oh yes, we bought this handy dandy cardboard box that we had flattened out. We're now going to fold it into a box. And look, you can't see our stuff. No, I don't like that. Come on.
Yeah, so we
Put a
are
little
gonna be
effort in.
responsible. We're
All
gonna be
right, so
responsible for having some sort of container with us to carry these in.
And keep in
All right.
mind, foci are not necessarily huge or tiny, or they're all shapes and sizes.
So what we need is some like clear plastic wrap, like saran wrap, and we'll just wrap it around the.
Again, technically right.
I mean, will plastic or metal work? Because I can take in a small sheet of it and I can shape it the way we need it. So.
Or you can borrow a desk chair and make a box out of it.
I mean, Jack's got ways to mess with plastic.
I think 2 of you have.
Well, did you?
I took animate plastic.
just
So basically, what I'm hearing is Andrigger's gonna make the plastic into a box, and then Jack's gonna have the box carry itself out.
nice.
Except for one slight problem: the magic on the animate is gonna glow in the dark.
There's that.
That's all right. Kai has the strength of 3, and that's enough to wield a medium machine gun. So I figured that's big enough to carry whatever box we need to carry.
Yeah. Again, you don't know what foci are in there. If only you had that information, you could maybe better plan. or you could just break in and grab everything, well, or whatever you can take.
There you go.
Maybe that we should let the hackers have a go at the to see if they can get in and get a list of stuff.
Well, and see if we there's schematics for like underneath the facility, like sewage or something that maybe we could come in from the bottom since the top is so well guarded.
You could also search for anybody posting online who's butthurt about losing a really powerful summoning focus.
That's true. That might be a viable option.
I suspect that is not something people would broadcast. Since it's so illegal, and if you have the thing that you're not supposed to have, you're probably not the kind of person that would be proud of losing that thing, because it's probably, pride and joy, part of your profession.
Can I see?
Well,
if
but that's why they're complaining about it online, because for some reason people are compelled to complain about losing their pride and joy.
Can I see if I could get some debt cord in case we need to make our own doors or anything? Is that a thing?
I have not read it. It might be a thing. I've not read about it.
Isn't that the purpose of the monofilament chainsaw?
No,
I think there is something.
There are explosives. I don't remember them.
Foam explosive.
But not like debt cord where I could like put it on and make like a door kind of thing.
It's like a foam explosive.
Oh, okay. Foam explosive. Yeah.
Yeah, 264.
Yeah, you just spray it along whatever you want to explode.
What does demolitions go off of, anyways? Engineering or?
I think it would be engineering.
Because I have bomb design as a knowledge, but I was like, I don't know.
I feel like that would also be engineering. Oh, I misnamed that that host.
Yeah. Conventional explosives, a range of explosive compounds, both solid and liquid.
Nice.
So you can get whatever you want, man. You want debt cord, you want putty, you want aerosol.
Nitroglycerin, because it's always safe to carry that around.
Plus, you never know when you want to just take a quick huff.
Sniff, sniff.
Oh, I'm gonna go see if I can get some of that foam plastic.
What is the availability on those?
I'm gonna go look right now. Let's see.
Now, quick question: is plastic explosives plastic?
No, it is not.
For like, so shade
plastic? No, plastic explosives is called plastic because it's malleable. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's basically like stiff clay or stiff silly putty. If my understanding is correct.
It's also relatively stable for an explosive.
Yeah, my understanding from speaking to my father and other people that a demolitions expert from Vietnam, you can light it on fire and cook your MRE with it. You can hit it with a hammer. Just don't hit it with a hammer while it's on fire.
Apparently, it depends on the rating what the availability is. So, goes from 1 to 20. So
generally, with plastic explosives, as long as you aren't shooting it with a gun or detonating a blasting cap next to it, it's not going to go off.
It's impact and heat need to be together.
Yeah, rating 16 to 18 is 6I.
Yeah, you're not getting that in a reasonable amount of time.
Right. But like like half of that is like 3I, kind of thing.
I also still have a monofilament chainsaw if we need to cut into anything. And that does cut through walls.
Yeah, it basically goes from 1I to 7I, and then the detonator cap's 4I.
It'd just be amusing if you could animate plastic explosives and have it charge after the.
I mean,
I'm coming to give you hugs.
Plastic explosive is part plastic.
Well,
alternatively, you could also just get the roller bombs and just have that chase people down.
Yeah, I used to have when drones were cheaper, I used to put plastic explosives on the drones and fly around corners and blow people up.
I mean, I just need to take a remote detonated explosive, attach it to a plastic bag, and then just throw it at somebody's face, and then say catch.
I think the roller bombs are only like 250 nuyen, and they're designed so you just put a grenade in them and Off they go.
Can I direct him with my rig?
Yes,
Awesome.
actually, that's their
Nice.
intended purpose. You can even jump into them if you really like dump shock.
And
Yes, please do that.
and if you have double clutch, look up swarm mechanics for drones.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
No, please don't, because then I'll have to remember how they work, and apparently they're ridiculous.
Nothing like 10 roller balls filled with explosives coming at you.
Hey, you know what? At least you only have to deal with them for one round. If you get 10 of those dragonfly things, you've got to deal with them every round.
All I gotta say, you start doing that, and there's going to be heat accrual.
So does Kenny want to attempt to crack this rating 8 node? I mean host.
I guess we could try it.
You
I
gonna
can
die.
do work on the probe, can't I?
If you guys are gonna do that, I recommend we rest before actually trying to physically invade the place.
Oh yeah, this is recon for information. We're not going to be invading on the same day as we do this. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you should probably just come back to Clutch's van, sack out and just do some, not astral, but virtual reconnaissance.
Yes.
I mean, and Kenny can heal Fade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we learned that recently.
Jack can heal Kenny's Fade.
What, Fade can be killed, but what?
Yes. The author, it is not like Drain. The author of the Matrix portions of the Shadowrun, the Catalyst stuff, did indeed chime in and said he specifically made it that way.
And deliberately tried to prevent whoever was double checking his work from stopping it.
Okay, cool.
And I can use. I think that was for teamwork.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was teamwork. That was a hell of a teamwork.
Teamwork. I told you I'm not going after anything higher than a rating 3 host. I got no chance in general against anything other than rating 3.
All right, and I can use up to skill
Your
level.
skill level.
Those dice.
Yeah, so I assume it's 6, right? Or is it only 5?
It's only 5 for this one. Because
Oh.
electronics is what handles most of my complex forms.
But this is probe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not a complex form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are done. There's no way you're getting in that place.
Sure you are. Where there's a will, there's a way. Keep in mind, the backdoor entry is actually the easier part. You don't have to probe, but it doesn't hurt.
You should probably reroll your failures, or
Or just try again, I think.
or
Yeah. I think this particular round we just log off and try again.
So normally retry an action if no real time takes place, then it's -2 dice pool penalty. If you guys want to just come back again in an hour or something, that's fine. But you aren't on a time crunch, so it's not as big of a deal.
taking
Yeah,
lunch.
we'll come back tomorrow, so to speak.
Taking lunch. No, just
Let
go lunch.
Kenny take a nap so he can reset his OS.
Right? Got to do a little bit of a virus scan. Unfortunately, that means Andriger's going to have to redo her thing.
And I do even better, not that it helps.
Well, that's not unfortunately then.
It's just 3 wasted successes, that's all.
But it's better than not enough by 3.
You're probably still going to have more successes than Kenny.
That's terrible. That's so mean. Well, Kenny, how much edge does Kenny have?
3.
And that's your edge attribute?
I mean, I do have that, so I do get an extra edge that I can use for this roll.
So there's I personally, on something like this, I would either use the pre-edge action on the backdoor entry or on the first of the probes. Probably I would do it on the backdoor entry.
Right.
because that is the easier role. You're going against Firewall plus Willpower. If they don't have anybody backing them up, if there's no spider, then you're only going against Firewall. Whereas Probe is Firewall times 2. There's always a Firewall of some sort.
Still, 11 successes is pretty good, so long as you don't do as well as you did last time. Then
Well, at least then you've got a chance with some edge, right? So we're going to do the same roll as last time.
And I'll just use my use it or lose it to have you reroll 1.
Well, no, I'm going to roll again.
Right. I'm just letting you know now.
I thought he said that those weren't lose it or lose it. Or are we using that?
I think if it doesn't say it in the book, I'm okay with you keeping it. Analytical mind is what you're talking about. I think that's permanent edge.
Oh, okay. They didn't redo that one?
In the book,
SRM
it's
did.
permanent edge, and SRM they redid it.
So I actually gain an edge from doing that. So every time I do this roll, I gain an edge, do I?
Well, that's why they did
unextended.
it. Yeah, you only get it on the first roll of an extended, and that's why SRM did it, because you could just do random dumb shit to generate edge, which that falls into edge abuse. And I will call you out on edge abuse.
Fair enough. So did I
So-
gain an edge or not from this?
Yes, you would have gained 1 edge. So you're you said you wanted him, the host, to reroll 1?
Well, if it's not use it or lose it, maybe
It
I'll
is
keep
not.
it.
Yeah, I would keep it. I would suggest that.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 nat.
And am I done with help from Andrigger then?
I can continue to help, I assume, right?
I believe I allowed you after we talked about things last time.
Oh boy, Shaz, I have got one for you.
Uh-oh.
-1 for the next one, right?
Yes, it's -1. Oh, why are we not doing the correct thing? Stop. You see on your character sheet by your D6 that funny circle of arrows?
Yeah.
Click that.
I'll start extended test. Ooh.
Hey, Chuz, when you have a minute, take a look at my character sheet. I did something.
What did you break? What am I looking at?
It'll pop up here.
Oh, you jacked it up. What did you do?
So are we restarting this whole thing?
No, I
I've
think
already
it's an
taken
extended
off the
test.
-1, so this isn't technically the first of my extended tests. I was trying it out, so I did
I
12.
I mean, I know what I did, and I'll fix it, but I just wanted you to see it.
What did you do? You had to have put a special character in an attribute.
No, I pasted a really long line into the name of something.
Oh, and it didn't wrap.
Yeah.
Well, that's your fault. If you're going to be dumb, you deserve what you get. I can't protect you from yourself all the time.
I thought it was funny.
Trying to protect users from their own idiot selves is a never-ending task that you will fail every time. Because you know what they say, you build a better mousetrap, you get smarter mice. You idiot-proof something, you just get bigger idiots. So that was your first roll, right?
That's technically my second, which is why it's only 12 rather than 13 die.
Okay,
I
so
did so well on the first one, so I didn't want to
so
do
Kenny, you can turn mods on and add your additional die that way, and just do 1 round of the extended test, and then we'll ignore that one and then do the next roll, so that you're caught up. Do you understand how this is working? How this is intended to work first?
I think I do.
Well, it's going to automatically add the -1 with the next roll.
When you click the next roll button, and it also will total your hits.
Okay.
And in the next roll, it'll ask you for your modifier. So as long as Andrew does theirs first, and then you do yours.
Exactly.
It will.
So does
So you guys are on a teeter-totter.
does it calculate wild die if I turn the wild die on?
It should, I think. The only thing it doesn't calculate in are the pluses and minuses. That is getting kind of complicated because if I do it there, I have to make it work everywhere. I have not gotten that far into the post-roll processing black hole.
Ignore
that's the
this
point.
roll really quick.
That's the point. I do technically have a wild die as well. So do I just ignore my wild die in doing this, or
You can click wild die and it'll prompt you for your wild die. Your toggle at the top of the page.
okay, yeah, cool.
Okay, so that was the throwaway roll.
That was. Well, no, I'm trying to figure out what my dice pool actually is.
Okay, so that's fine. So it's 15.
Plus wild. Okay.
Oh, sorry,
Now,
it's 16, 17 with one wild die. So you're going to turn on wild die, turn on mods, and do a 17 dice pool.
All right.
And we're going to ignore the first roll because you've already done that, and that's where you got 3 hits, which I'm going to actually make a note of that because we're getting lost in the weeds. Okay, so that's 17. So now, for the next round, you're going to click next roll, and when it prompts you for the mod, you're going to give yourself your maximum because Andriger had 8 hits. But you're not going to subtract 1. That happens automatically now.
Alright,
Technically, I still need to do the -1 anyway, don't I? Because I'm still assisting in this.
Well, you said the dice pool of 12 was already with the -1, right?
Yes, but I mean, with the wild die, will that automatically subtract 1, or do I need to put in another -1 modifier for the wild die or whatever?
The wild die, no, the wild die just uses one of the dice you rolled.
Okay, cool. So I still leave my modifier as 0, right?
Correct, and when it's your turn after we deal with this one, so he has 7 hits, which we're ignoring the total hits because there's an opposed test here. This extended test is really intended for like I'm going to matrix search because there's no opposed test. But I want to test it, so that's why we're doing it. It's a little clunky right now for what we're using. So you have 7 hits, and I have to roll its dice.
Now, could you also use an extended roll test like that for the firewall?
No, because they get full dice pool every time.
No, it sucks.
Yes, it does. 6. And you didn't get any more analytical mind because you only get 1 on an extended.
Mm-hmm. So that's only 1 more hit.
So you're +1, so you're at 4 now. Now, Andriger, you would click the next roll on your previous roll.
And where it asks for the wild die number, I just put 1, right?
Correct. That's the number of actual wild dice. And yeah, give you 11 dice pool. And you lost hits because of the wild die, but hey, at least it's 1 die. It's better than 0. And if it was a glitch, that would have been bad. So, Kenny, you have 1 on your mod, and there you go. Oh, that was terrible.
We might be reaching the end of.
Yeah, I think you'll probably just have to accept the +4.
Maybe they'll roll really bad and we'll get another one.
Nope.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna say you're done with that, but you have 4 extra dice on your probe.
Can I teamwork on the back door or not?
The back door, you or the sprites can.
So I can help him. So I'll help. Once I get you in, I can't help you beyond that once you're in the host, but I can definitely help you.
Right.
Okay.
So keep in mind, again, this is completely up to you, but I personally, against the host, I would consider pre-edging or at least being prepared to burn, not burn, but use some edge. Pre-edge is a really good use of 4 edge because exploding 6s is potentially infinite hits.
I now have 2 edge since I gained 1 from my analytical mind. Will I get another edge for doing this? Because if I do that, then can I give Kenny an edge by spending 2 of my edge, or?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's a different task.
Cool. Alright, well, I will drop back down to 1 edge, and in this I will get another edge, and I'll spend 2 edge to give you an extra edge there, Kenny.
Alright, thank you.
So go ahead and do your roll. It's just a standard roll. It's not the extended test. But it's good to see that the wild dice does work. I test this stuff, but I'm only one person.
Yeah, it's always better to have somebody else test your stuff. Cause
And you guys are my guinea pigs. Well, there's 4.
Oh, it gave me 2 wild die because I put.
Oh yeah, you're back to using the matrix stuff. That's why. So your first die was the 1. You didn't lose any hits because of the 1, so you're fine. You got 4 hits. Yeah.
all right, 4.
Because see, the extended test doesn't know you're doing a matrix test, so it doesn't pull in things like the overclock and such.
All right, so for this, I turn the edge toggle on, right?
If you're pre-edging for 4 edge, yes.
Okay.
And you don't have to modify your roll because it'll automatically add your edge attribute because that's what that does.
Okay.
Now you are going to modify for your plus hits from Andrigger.
Right.
So you should have 1,000,000 dice. Yeah, 26, 1,000,000. What?
26 dice pool. How many 5s did I lose?
Oh my god, a lot. 5 of them, no 6.
Yeah,
Oh,
you lost
God.
6. That wild dice was a killer.
Have they mathematically determined whether it's beneficial or not to use wild die? I mean, I think it's
Yes, yes,
It's
As long as
mathematically
you're under
beneficial.
18 dice, it's mathematically beneficial. Once you hit over 18 dice, you lose more than you gain.
How does that work?
for
Because-
wild die or for
Because when you get a hit on a wild dice, you generate 3 hits. So once you're above 18, you're generating on average 5 5s with
Oh,
every
right.
roll. So, or sorry, 3 5s with every roll.
Yeah.
So since getting 1 5 gives you 2 additional hits, losing 3 hits when you roll a 1,
Discounted by getting +3 from the 6. Yeah.
it's actually worse if you have 18 dice or more, because you don't get the hit that you rolled plus an additional 3. You get the hit you rolled plus an additional 2.
And I think it's actually bit you in the butt a lot more than it's helped on the bigger dice pool.
Okay.
I think
so
there's a
Yeah,
certain
18
level
plus
of
dice pool you
personal
don't
luck
want.
that also plays a role in
Well,
it too.
obviously, yeah. Oh, I did add that too. Oh, neat. I could have been
I
rolling
also-
something different the whole time.
I have friends who I swear never roll 1s, and then other friends who only roll 1s.
Does anybody want to use any edge?
I did give you that +1 edge, so you can try it, Kenny, if you want.
I
Well,
have
he's pre-edged.
I'm sitting at 2 edge that I have left now.
Right, but you already did your edge action.
I mean,
and
I
I can't use my edge action on any of that, right? Because I'm only helping, right? And team workers can't use edge.
Well, yeah, but you did use edge because you gave him 1 edge.
True.
Or did you do that before your effort?
Oh, I could have done it. Yeah, I could have done it before, technically. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have what, 1 edge?
I have 1 edge left. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot.
It's not gonna do squat, is it? Yeah.
If you
give you an edge, Kenny, if you need it.
well, Kenny can't spend anymore because he pre-edged.
So you'd have to give it to Andrigger.
I would allow Andrigger. It's probably against some sort of rules, but I don't care. I would allow Andrigger to use it.
Can I spend my super edge?
Normally, that's just supposed to add 3 dice to a pool.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what, just to get it out, sure. This one time you can use it to give Andrigger 3 edge.
But what am I gonna do with 4 edge?
Make the host re-roll its hits. You can do that, right?
4 hits, yeah.
Yeah, I will spend my edge plus.
So play that token so it's out of your hand. I can't remove it.
There we go.
yeah, you can.
I had to figure out how to move it out of my hand.
I have to request to remove it.
No, you just go to the deck and just return all cards to deck.
Oh, well, yeah, but then that screws other players that may still have some. Okay, so you're gonna make a re-roll 4. I hope this works out for you. Oh no! So it's got a.
That's 1 net. That's.
It's 5. No, it's got 5 hits.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I that's why I don't mess with wild dice.
Yeah.
Because you were golden without the wild die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and especially with a dice pool of 26, you're
Yeah.
gonna get hurt a lot more.
Well, the
than
dice
you're
pool's
gonna-
not 26. The dice pool, the 26 is including the exploded sixes, which there were 4 of those.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And see,
Well, yeah,
those
but-
out of those 4, 2 of them were the 2 of the 5s you lost.
Still, if you got a really big dice pool, you should avoid wild dice.
Yes, as we have now learned, the hard way.
Yeah.
I guess
So,
you could try again the following day, but without edge, right?
yeah, you would have. Well, I'm trying to decide how to adjudicate this. Tell you what, it's 9 o'clock. Let's take a brief break.
We can use the optional 6 World Companion rule on page 143, faster edge resets.
Yeah, like overnight is what I was thinking. But that's still. I think we can try it again. I kind of just want to get it over with. If you want to just go ahead and roll the same roll, but with the wild dice turned off, I will allow that.
I will take that if you're willing to give that.
I'm going to tack on a day of time, so if that has any bearing on rewards or whatever, then that is something that you'll have to deal with.
So I can do the same thing with the.
The backdoor
Oh,
entry,
you know
just turn off your overclock. You'll lose 2 dice because overclock.
Well, yeah.
And Andrigger will get to roll again, so there's potential for that.
I just realized something. I also did not include the probe. I only included Andrigger's help on that.
Well, why don't you roll those 4 dice? Because if you get 2 hits, then you're in.
Let's just move forward and reroll.
Roll 4 dice.
There's a good chance he can get 2 hits off 4 dice, so...
He got... no. Roll 4 dice. You got this.
Like I
Okay.
said,
Somebody spend edge on him! Somebody spend edge on him! I guess no one can
Let's
get
just
spend
reroll.
edge.
Let's just re-roll it without the stupid overclock and be done with it.
Jack is trying to make... what are you making? A flag? The British...
I don't know.
Jack?
Just mostly patterns.
So is Andrigger re-rolling too, or am I just the one re-rolling?
Andrigger as well.
Okay.
It's the next day. You've reset your edge to whatever your edge attribute is. It's the next day.
But I don't.
So-
do we
so-
have to go back to the whole
But
probe
we've
thing?
lost the
or
back
can I-
door though, right? We've lost the back door though.
You've lost the probe. If you want to probe again, that's fine, but we need to be quick. We can go back to the old school way of doing the probe if you want to do it, because it's a little less clunky with a helped test.
Oof.
Exactly. So Andrigger, I need a probe.
Okay.
So 3 hits. So you have 3 hits on your probe. Modifier 3, and you had pre-edge turned on. That was a lot of rerolls. So 4 hits, and you had the modifier in there. Yes. So we only have a 16 dice pool on this. Yeah.
Good God. Let's try it one more time.
I wish I rolled that well when I was a player. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 fails and you're done with the probe.
Yeah.
So Andrigger's giving you another 3. You both have gotten 1 edge at this point. So you have 6, and it's going to do its thing again. Oh!
This is a tough host, as I knew it would be.
It is a tough host. You had it except for that stupid wild dice.
Yes.
So you're done because it resisted your probes twice. It's on the alert now, we're going to say. So you can try your back door and see what happens. Do you want to pre-edge? Do you want to wait and see what happens? Reroll misses? Whatever.
I'll
I'm happy to.
pre-edge, but
Keep in mind, pre-edge is only giving you 3 extra dice. It's you're hoping for 6s. Whereas if you have a terrible roll, re-rolling misses gives you a lot of extra dice.
I mean, I'd only have 4 edge either way.
Right, so you have to choose one of those things.
And Rigger, what? There we go. Oh wow.
Oh, so you've
I'll
got
give
your.
you an edge. I'll blow my 2 edge to give you an edge.
That's okay. I got 4 edge out of it. I'm just dumping them all pre-edging. Let's just do this.
Remember to add your mod from Andrew.
So that's.
See, I'm rolling well and you're rolling shit, so I wish it could have been the other way around.
Yeah, I have bigger dice pools. You always roll better than me.
So 8 hits against willpower and firewall. Oh, you know what? It's a shame that the spider's
You was on
off.
coffee break, right?
Yeah, the spider's on coffee break. Hey, we're in. Okay, now that we're in, now we're going to take a break because my eyes are floating. We will be back in just a few minutes if we actually have viewers. I don't think we do. Within 5 or 7 minutes. Be back shortly.
I think we broke Chuz.
So I assume the 5 viewers on the stream are just us, right?
Probably. All this time wasted because it was stupid wild dice.
Well, now you know. If you've got 18 dice or more, avoid a wild die.
On the other hand, if you split your dice pool for whatever reason,
That's true.
wild dice are great.
If you're doing multi-attacks in the Matrix, then yeah, it's good.
Alternatively, you can use actions that reduce your dice pool. Like I don't know what the Matrix equivalent of a called shot would be, but
I have no idea. I haven't actually looked in the Matrix stuff as detailedly as I probably should. I only took on some Matrix skills just so that somebody could back up Kenny.
yeah.
And I've already decided Andrew is kind of a jack of all trades, so might as well, spread out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly designed to have a full decker and a full mage, and we don't really have that.
Well, you're a technomancer. You're supposed to be as good as a decker, right?
I mean,
Negative.
that depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
I mean, what the hell is the point of a technomancer if they can't be basically as good as a decker?
I think it's just the fact that they ignore a lot of rules that apply to deckers. Like, if you walk up to this vending machine, the decker's got to like hack into whatever host it's on, find it, do edit or control device and whatnot. I just walk up and go boop and run my control device then.
It's if you can physically get to it, it's a lot easier for a technomancer.
Yeah, I just have to perceive it and then I ignore the host on a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that I can't perceive it unless I'm in the host.
It's also a lot harder for technomancers, it seems, to actually get into a host. I think that's part of the reason for that specific action that lets someone let other people into a host is that Decker gets into the host and then they let the technomancer in. Could be wrong though.
It makes sense, but I mean, can Kenny let me into the host then, now that he's in, or?
I think Chose said we're not going to be using the matrix actions that are in hack and slash this game.
That's fair enough, but maybe in the future when he's had a chance to read through it all.
Yeah, if you guys have an action that you want to use, just in the Discord chat, just give me page number so that I can read that and figure that out. It's going to take me a while to read through the book because it's what 100 and some odd pages, and I've got other things I got to read every week. So, but I'm happy to read specific things that you guys think are cool, so that we can get those in play as soon as possible. We don't have a listener ski. That was one of our players. Oh, we have 6 viewers. Maybe we do have a listener.
You've got 2
Right.
because I'm not watching it.
Oh, awesome. Sometimes we have Reverend.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you don't count as a viewer, do you, Chuz? So yeah.
I don't know. I have it on Stream Manager mode, which lets me see it from Twitch, but I don't know if that counts me as a viewer or not. I mean, this is technology. I don't know technology.
I guess we can also call out in stream. If anyone's watching and you're not a player, can you type in chat?
Tell us who you are.
The most unfriendly stream of people that want to be watched. Tell us who you are, or else.
Admit that you watch us.
That just sounds bad.
Wait, I think we've lost them. Right? We went from 6 down to 5, so they probably just left.
See, mine went from 5 to 6.
Yeah, I don't think the number is 100% accurate. Who is back? I think Ski's probably still gone.
I'm here.
Oh well, we're doing this for the AI in the future who will try and study human culture and are actually watching us right in the future. Hello, future AIs.
Hello, future overlords. When they turn the SR rules against us. Okay, so first thing Kenny's going to do when he gets in is Matrix Perception, of course.
Yep.
And also, I want you to. Are you being stealthy?
Yes.
You probably would like to roll a hide.
1 second here.
And you really want to roll high on that.
So would I be rolling against someone else perceiving me?
Hide is opposed by their perception usually.
But what about oh crap. I'm just gonna hit this. It's gonna roll, but if this isn't allowed, please ignore my roll. But I'm thinking this would be applicable.
That is basically if you've been spotted, that's like smoke bomb.
Okay. Well, I will.
And it has a cost, fate of 6.
That's true.
Which the brief look I took at Hack and Slash, there is I don't remember the name of them, but there's like paths that technos can take that give you reduced fade on certain things. So that's kind of cool.
Actually, I apologize. I should have already had this open so I can reference what my sprites do, but
Yep.
there is...
You're doing typical one of each. What's your extra one? Or do you have a different layout?
3.
Oh, okay.
The 3 that are in there, but I'm pretty sure one of these can help hide me, but maybe not.
So you did. So do your hide roll, or are you looking at you're looking to see if a sprite can conceal you?
Yeah,
Basically.
My crack sprite in here could conceal a persona or device in such a way to make it invisible to matrix searches. Would that be applicable?
I think. Well, that's matrix perception, maybe. I'll say yes for lack of a better answer to keep things moving along for now.
Okay. Concealed personas or devices can only be found with a matrix perception test that is specifically looking for the hidden icon. Even then, the sprite can make an electronics plus resonance test, with net hits becoming threshold for the matrix perception test.
Perfect. So if you do something to make the host look for you or its IC look for you, then it'll come into play.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, most hosts have patrol ice that are always looking.
Right. So if my sprite needs to roll that, let me know. In the meantime, I will matrix perception with the help of one of my curves.
And that is what, Phantom that you were talking about?
Yes.
But yeah, do your hide.
Oh,
Okay,
do I
three
hide
hit.
anyway?
Yeah,
Hang
yeah.
on a second. That was to help with the perception. Let me roll my hide.
Are you going to use help for that? Guess not. Okay. All right. So you're in the host. It's very austere. It's just like, concrete building. You do see what looks like a rotating searchlight in the middle of the room. You guess. Let's see. What was your perception? 7. You're positive. Oh, go ahead.
I apologize. I forgot to put the.
Forgot your mod. Yeah. Okay, so 8 hits. You are positive that searchlight is a patrol ice. You're also well aware that it is aware of your existence. So you have, I'm going to say, 2 rounds before it spins around and notices you. I don't know if that's how it works, but it's how it's going to work this time. Okay. So you also notice that there's a sub-host. And let me get back on the right book. I have so many PDFs open. So there's so this has 1 file on it of any interest, other than other random crap. Or you also see a subhost. And that subhost with that matrix perception, you're aware that that subhost is a rating 4.
And do I think that if, let's see, well, backdoor entry is a longer than 1 round, isn't it?
I believe it takes a minute, so yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to be able to quietly get into that sub-host before
I'm
this.
actually looking it up. I was thinking the same thing. I think it's
I think the best you could do is brute force it.
Which, yeah, I don't know. Let's check out that file really quick.
okay, so I'm not looking at my list here. What is that? Edit file. Do you just want to copy that file and deal with it later?
Yes.
So that would be edit file.
And I have access to do that, though.
Now that is assuming that as soon as you mess with the file, if it's got a data bomb, it's going to go off. So if you're paranoid, you would what is it? Matrix perception. Oh, you did a high matrix perception, so you know it's not got a data bomb.
Okay.
But normally you would want to check, do perception on it to make sure there's no data bomb, and then deal with it if you find one, and then edit file to copy it.
All right. Well, I'm going to have, just to make sure I get this, I'm going to have the sprite help to edit the file to copy it.
Data bombs are no joke.
They can screw your day up.
Lord.
Oh, I bet this doesn't work, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Since Kenny is a technomancer, what happens if his persona gets, or if his device gets slagged?
Well, his device is him.
He's the device.
There is no matrix damage. All matrix damage for them is physical.
Ouch. So data bombs are really not good for...
Right. Yeah, so that the buttons didn't work for me. So we're going to do this. Firewall and sleeve. Ta-da. Oof. That didn't succeed, and you have one more action before an ice appears.
All right.
Alarms are starting to go off, virtually speaking.
Just to get the better dice roll, I'm going to actually do the Technomancer thing on it.
Keep in mind, if you enter another host, the ice can't follow you.
Yeah. I guess. What do they think would? What does the group think would be the better option? Should I try and get this file and log off, or should I try and brute force into the other sub-host and set off the alarms?
Can't
The alarms
you?
are already going off.
The ice will get to you before you manage to hack through, right? How long does it take to brute force?
Brute force is one action, and you are in VR because there is no other option. I'm assuming you're not doing AR.
Right.
So you have 2 actions per round. So you can try again on the edit. You can do something else. You can whatever you like to do, and then you have the next round is when at the end of the next round is when this now alerted host activates another ice.
What if
They're
you go into the or brute force the other host, go into it, and then try and grab the file when you come back?
Well, he can jack out directly from all of them, though, can't he?
Yes, that would be it. So I'm going to use one action to try and do Technomancer edit file for the higher dice pool and risk drain with the help of my courier sprite. And then I'm going to try and brute force just so I can see what's in the other one, and then probably get immediately kicked out. That's not what I want. Okay, so I'll just do the roll from the other one.
Well, once you enter the other host, won't the ice no longer be able to see you?
So that form editor doesn't really help you in this case.
Well, if it does not, it help me necessarily, but then I'm using a complex form on it, and I have a higher dice pool.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And now I have to resist 3 fate.
You still got your boosted logic, right?
No, my intuition is boosted. That was what I asked for.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Would you like to use some edge?
I got a 7.
Wait, what?
The 4 was my...
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking at the resist fade. I should probably make those headers a little bit bigger because I always overlook them. I see the name and I suck at reading apparently. But yeah, you are able to copy the file, and the end of this round is you're going to have company.
Well, I have one more action, right?
No, that was your second action. The first was your failed edit.
Okay.
So it's the top of the new round, right?
Right. You have 2 actions before the ice show up.
All right. Well, I'm trying to get into brute force the other one so I can take a look at it.
Okay, I like to hear that.
So...
Question is, has the guy come back from his coffee break?
Well, he'll be back soon because he's got alarms ringing.
Where is brute force? There it is.
Oh, look at you cheating with the sprites. That was a cheater sprite. That crack sprite cracked the code for the roll 20 dice. Nice, 9 hits. Willpower and firewall. So firewall. 2. I've never used brute force, so I need to look at it. I think you're in, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's in, and alarms are going off everywhere.
Yeah, you basically bashed your way through the door.
You are now generating 3 OS every round.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it 3 or 2?
Yeah, I should probably do something for these to make a edit file. That's legal, fortunately, but I should probably make note of that. Why would it be 3 or 2? You're getting 1 for being there illegally, and then it's 1 for every illegal program running, right?
Well, you also get, I think it's and 1 for being an illegal user and 2 for being an illegal admin.
Well, except pretty sure brute force, I'm getting to it, does not give you admin.
Well, I know my next
While I'm looking at that, what is your next action?
My next action is just going to be perception to see what's in here.
Yeah, I was going to say I need a matrix perception.
Only a 4 this time.
Okay, so you didn't specify it because I didn't know you had to. When you were doing your brute force, were you going for just user level access or admin level access? Admin gives the opposing host more dice, but it gives you better access if you succeed.
I probably would have tried admin.
Good.
Because...
That's what I wanted to hear. So I'm going to roll 2 dice.
Yeah, it's like 2 more dice.
Yeah, so 2 hits, you still got in. Okay, now that we've done that properly, the target action is linked to attack. So yeah, we're good to go. You're in. You have admin. That's where the user versus admin comes in. And you were doing matrix perception. You got 4 hits. Back to the other book. You see a database. Did you send that edited file out to the team?
Was that?
Did you send that
as a minor or something? Or
I'll say that you're sharing it if that's what you want to do.
yeah.
So the only one that's logged in that I'm aware of is Andrigger.
Yep, sure, I can relog in.
That file is a roster for the guards.
Sweet.
You could edit it and then have Kenny replace it.
Okay, so yes, you saw a database, another file. You'll need to. You had a pretty low matrix perception, so you know that there's a file there. You're pretty sure it's a database. That's all you know about it.
Oh, that was, I believe, the end of my turn.
Yeah, well, you're in the new server, or the new host rather. So it is on alert. Again, it's a pretty austere server or host. I keep calling them servers, which confuses me all in many ways. Why does the pool look like that's wrong? I made this host wrong. So it has 1 ice that you have identified as patrol. I need to edit these before I use them. And another one appears. And it looks like a white noise generator.
Interesting.
That's just what the icon looks like. So it is a new round. We could have done initiative, but it's just 2 actors, so it's pretty easy.
You can't just copy a database, can you?
It's a file. It's just a file.
So that's a yes, he can.
Yes.
I mean, you can data dump it onto Andrigger's comlink if you want. Copy and paste it. I mean, copy and transfer it over if Chuz will allow that.
You can grab it, yeah.
Well, I mean, we're back to my turn.
Yes. But it is going to act this round.
Right.
Copy it and log out.
I can't remember. If a data bomb goes off, can it destroy the file?
I believe it does.
Yes. That's
Yes,
exactly
it destroys
what
the file.
I think there may be different types of data bombs, but I haven't read anything in the core rulebook. I feel like there would be in a world like this.
Because my gut is telling me that maybe I should take a closer look at that before.
Oh, live a little. Or die a little.
Okay, fine.
Or die a little.
All right, I'm gonna do the same exact thing as I did with the other one. I'm gonna have this thing help me.
How many tasks do you have left on that sprite?
I think this is the last one for my courier.
How many did you have? 5?
3, I thought?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, this
With
would be your last.
I only have 3.
It's up to whoever sets the data bomb whether or not the file is destroyed when it's set off.
Thank you for verifying that. Okay, so you have 2 hits, and that's again. Oh, that's the sprite.
Yeah, same thing. I'm going to use the Technomancer version for the higher dice pool and roll against the fade.
Of course you are. So it is rolling firewall and sleaze. So it is rolling firewall. Oh, massive hits.
All right, so that's copied.
Yes.
All right, disconnect. Bye bye.
So that is your next action. Is your jack out.
Yes.
And I need to look at what that is because it's a thing.
It is
Yeah,
a minor action to exit host. Or that's exit host. There's a disconnect, isn't there?
Well, there's jack out and there's exit host. Now, if you exit the host, that would put you out to the other host.
That's why I assumed you wanted to jack out.
Yeah, what's the jack out version for a techno? I don't see it as an action. Oh yeah, it is.
You would suffer dump shock.
Which right now isn't a big deal because we're sitting in a van.
And we can come back later when, it's calmed down like a day or so.
And if you were link locked, that could be a problem.
So there's a roll for this.
If you're link locked.
Okay. So
So the roll's
Hopefully
only
you're
for
not
Slingshot?
already.
no, they haven't had a chance to act, so I will just jack out and take dump shock and be done.
And what is dump shock?
3S if he's cold sim or 3P if he's hot.
Yeah, there is no cold sim for technos.
Yeah, so it'd be 3P.
So
Well, I mean, if they use trodes and a deck, then
yeah, but then they're not a technomancer, they're a decker.
Actually, wouldn't they be a technomancer masquerading as a decker?
They'd still be functionally a decker.
Who can summon sprites?
No, if you're using the machines, you can't use the technomancer stuff.
Ah.
That is something Banshee has made pretty clear.
I mean, it makes sense from a game balance perspective.
Yeah, because then you just have extra protection. Oh, I'm a technomancer, but I have a cyber deck to absorb all the damage.
Right?
Yeah.
So you are going to just take your hits, your lumps, and go?
Yes.
Okay.
It's only 3P. I'm pretty sure that can be healed up.
Nope, he's dead.
I'm pretty sure it can still be... Dump Shock can be healed by the heal spell, right?
yeah,
So
I will
we're
do
done.
right now.
So we're done playing with hosts for now, unless you want to go back at it.
No.
So how many days were they at cracking that host?
This was day 2. The first day was you guys had all done everything together. So everybody else has an overnight and another morning to catch up. So what was Kai doing?
Probably going to accost a couple of the guards on their way to the or to work and just slip a stealth tag onto them to try and map the underground area.
So how exactly are you approaching that? When you say accost, are you just going to bump into them on the street? You going to strike up a conversation? What's the plan?
Just bump into them on the street,
I have
straighten
an
their
idea.
collar, slip a stealth tag into their collar.
Okay, so
We could teamwork this. We could totally teamwork this. You attach your stealth tag to a zip tie, and then I just animate plastic and zip it up on.
I mean,
Wow.
we can do that if you want. I've got 11 dice for just palming
palming,
stuff
yeah.
onto their
That'll work too.
collar.
Yeah, just do that.
Okay, so yeah, throw your dice. Are you gonna pick? So you got 3 different types of guards there on the map there. Pick a guy or a type, since there's 2 of one type. Ping the one you want to target.
I guess I'll target the guy with the helmet first.
There's 2 guys with helmet. I'm not seeing the ping.
Why is it not? Oh, because I don't have the right thing selected.
Okay, so we're gonna go for him. So you roll your palming, which is stealth, unless you have specialization.
I got 6 hits.
That's not awful. And they are, I don't know what the hell they're rolling. Perception.
Perception and intuition.
Ah, they have perception, yes. Oh, wow. Holy crap, what's his dice pool? He rolled as well as you did, 50%. All right. So
he's a PR4 mob.
So you feel like you may have landed that tag without being noticed. He's like, "Hey, watch where you're going, buddy."
All right, off to put it on this guy next. So we have someone who also has astral.
Which guy? Okay.
I don't like that.
And they are gender indeterminate because all of the tokens that I chose for these guys just happen to be male.
I'm gonna spend, what is it, 2 edge to bump a 4 to a 5?
Are you sure about that?
Nah, never mind. I thought I thought the last guard's roll was this. That this guy got.
No, yeah, I make the same mistake sometimes. No, he rolled 3 against you. So you think that you have been sneaky?
Jack, do you think I should put or continue to put stealth tags on people, or do you think 50% of the visible guards is good?
Yeah, if you have tags on all of them, maybe.
I will tell you this: if you fail, then they're probably gonna be like, "Hey, can you believe somebody tried to put a stealth tag on me?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I'm like, maybe. But I don't have a problem trying again. I've still got lots of edge.
And you were told earlier that the main guards out top don't go down.
Yeah. I'm mainly trying to get them to keep track of like when shift changes happen.
Oh, that's visibly obvious. I mean, when people come filing in and out.
Yeah, but not when they go on break.
That's true.
I mean, could I just cast invisibility on the stealth tags? Give him an edge?
To give him an edge, yes, I would let him have an edge for that.
Well, I'm already generating edge with my attribute mastery.
Well, no, but this would give you a use it or lose it that you wouldn't have to burn when you're own.
And I'm not generating edge if I'm not casting spells.
Gotcha. Well then,
stop blocking me, man.
We're skirting the edge abuse thing here.
No, we are using our abilities in smart, efficient manners.
And where is my
teamwork?
Where is my rules thing for?
Ski just wants to roll dice here.
I just want to roll dice. Come on, that's what we're here for, right?
Yes, it is. And
right,
I want to roll dice too, so I need to roll the dice on this table.
Here's my. Oh no. That was a terrible roll. How much edge is it to just redo a roll? Or to re-roll your misses?
4.
Well, I'm gonna do that.
So Ski, it appears that the tag disappeared.
Yeah, but as soon as he plants it, I'm gonna release this.
That's fine, but I was doing the object resistance. It is
re-roll.
It's 4 edge to reroll. And who is this against?
This is against eye patch dude, or eye patch person.
The one with wielding the katana.
Sure.
See, no katana.
Ooh.
And you've already spent your edge.
Yeah, I've already spent my edge.
But the tie goes to the aggressor.
Oh, would that be me?
That would be you.
Well, there we go.
Well, he's not aggressively accepting stealth tags from you, so.
Well,
I mean,
Proposing taking them, yeah.
I guess that's true. And then last guard.
you gonna invisible this stealth tag too?
Yes, I will, but I won't take an edge for it.
I'm glad you said that. Against 3, you win. It is invisible-ish. So you'll have another edge for this one. Oh, you could have re-rolled one of your rolls on that last one also, Kai.
Well, no, the last one I had to re-roll. I got on my native roll. I got 0 hits.
Oh, so you
and
did
a whole
the
lot
re-roll.
of
Okay.
ones.
Yeah, he
Now
was
keep in mind that you had an edge to buy that from. You had 2 edge from the actual action, so that helped. You had your 1 edge from your attribute mastery, and you got the 1 edge from Jack's help.
Oh yeah, so I guess my edge should be back at 5.
Wait, I don't get an edge every time I cast invisibility, but he gets one every time he gets attribute mastery.
I mean, you can, but if you're going to do it 10 times, I'm going to slap you around.
Well, he just did it 4. Never mind.
Twice is okay. It's fine. But what I'm saying is, don't be like, I'm going to make that fire hydrant invisible because edge.
What about every time I shoot somebody with my logic plus engineering rolls?
Why would I make a fire hydrant invisible?
That's exactly my
Actually,
point.
that's a good idea. Let's find a park bench.
You're going to
We'll put it in
confuse dogs.
Their guard route.
There's a real problem with the city having to paint all of our fire hydrants yellow because the dogs keep peeing on them.
If you make them invisible, the dogs are still going to pee there. The firefighters won't be able to find them. They'll be like, okay, there's a blue reflector in the road. Where's the stupid hydrant? All right, your last palming roll?
That was the last one.
Yeah, he'd already done it. He did it before I invisible the tag.
Oh, okay. I was out of order. You're out of order. Okay, so what next? So that's Jack and Kai shenanigans. What was Clutch doing?
Hey,
Napping.
observing the people and making sure they're safe when they're hacking because they're doing it in a van.
Playing soothing music.
Yep.
How did it look that these guards were getting in through locked doors and stuff? Was it like an RFID chip? Was it a card? Was it biometrics?
The door to the shack?
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to be locked.
Okay.
I mean, there's locks, but they're just walking through the door.
Would Clutch have been able to get like a gnat in there just to see what's required to get into the elevator?
Sure.
All right.
It is an elevator. You push a button, and the elevator comes up. The door's open.
So no biometric scans.
Nope.
Nice.
I mean, keep the gnat in there. See if anyone comes up or goes down over the course of a day.
Yeah, somebody's bound to come up and down for the shift, so...
You're going to try and... Is the gnat supposed to hitchhike in and out?
Well, try it.
What are the noise rules for material? It's like per foot of earth, isn't it?
It's something horrendous, so yeah.
Yeah, so when it goes down the elevator shaft, it loses signal. So what were your orders to the gnat? It has to be pretty simple, because dog brain and pilot is pretty low.
Probably would be count. Can it count? Can it? I don't even think it can count.
I mean, it's a computer; they can count.
Hey, count how many floors down, and then come back up, basically. Yeah.
So I imagine that the drone, the standard instrument package of any drone, would include accelerometers and such. So yes, it can map how far down it goes and such. Did you want it to just go in the elevator, go down, back up, and come out?
Actually, I'll have it. If I can say map facility, but I don't think it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have the logic to. If it came to any kind of decision, it would be lost.
Just go back down and record and come back up.
Okay, so it's just gonna basically, with its crappy, its crappy 1 megapixel camera, get a grainy picture of what it sees through the door.
Yep.
All right, that is my canon, by the way, for gnats, because they're just too much of an easy out. The camera on a gnat is crap.
I mean, it makes sense. It's supposed to be the size of a fly.
And they have, well, see, flies have really good eyes, but the gnat has a really low sensor rating. So, and it's not it's a good little spy device, but it's not for any kind of detailed observation.
Well, but flies' eyes are also compound eyes, so they're really good at picking up movement, not really good at seeing things.
Exactly. Okay, so it takes a while because there's not a whole lot of traffic up and down the elevator. The gnat probably took a nap because, gnats do that. When it comes back out, you see that the facility outside the elevator looks to be about 30 meters by 30 meters. You saw a couple people and a bunch of tables with stuff on them.
Eh,
And the room looked like it was only about 2 meters tall.
nice.
Your database, did you guys want to hack that?
Kenny will probably be better at hacking, I assume, than I would.
Actually, there's no rolls needed. It's just you have the file, so you can read it.
I guess we don't need to check for data bombs or anything like that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, if there had been a data bomb, he would have eaten it.
Gotcha. Then yep, we'll check it all out.
So you have a list of foci that have been logged.
And their size and what they do. Exactly, right?
There are 306 foci within the building.
Yeah.
Of all imaginable shapes, sizes, and they're all for summoning or binding.
Is there pictures of which ones are the more powerful ones that we need to get?
There is a grid-like indicator by each one, like a number dash number, if that makes sense.
Nice. Like a Dewey Decimal System for magical items.
So type and power.
Give me a second. I'm going to type you an example entry.
Well, Andriga can't deal with spirits, so we'll probably want shamanic, so that if we do need to use it, I guess. I mean, is Jack prepared to bond to it if we need to use it? So.
No,
Fair enough.
All right.
but we could always take it and do that at some other point.
Oh, yeah, not during this mission, but like we should probably get shamanic. I mean, did Nikki specify what type of tradition she wanted?
She wanted summoning foci, which all of these are summoning foci. She did not specify.
Yeah, they're
Any tradition's fine.
She did seem to insinuate that if we grabbed more than one, there might be more of a payday, so we could always grab like one of each.
I think they're all like.
So that would be 2 example entries in the document. For anybody that might be watching now or later, it's like focus 01-01, gold link from a large chain, F5. And then the next one would be focus 01-01, levitating drop of blood, F7. And the 0101, those numbers do change. There seem to be maybe a dozen of the second number, like 01 to 12, for every number on the left.
I'm sorry, we're not following.
And the F and the N, I assume, is the force level, is it?
Well, we don't know that, but we assume that's focus level 7, focus level 5.
So since it goes up to 12, it's probably like racks. So it's probably like rack 1, shelf 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's like that. That would be 2 examples. Well, it's actually several examples. It's like 0102, 0103, 0104, all the way up to 0112. And then 0201, all the way up to 0212.
The first 2 to me seem like they're some kind of organizational system.
Yeah, they seem like coordinates like XY to me.
And if you're looking at the image that the Nat gave you, you can tell that there's a bunch of tables and there's several items on each table, so it probably maps to that somehow.
Like, tables and then the objects on the tables.
Exactly.
But
Wait.
we can logically infer that the F means force, right? Or the power rating. So
You can infer whatever
I
you
mean,
want.
What do the F? What's particular about the F number? Does it go like F100 or F1 to F12ish?
So you'll see anywhere from F1 to F8. There are about a handful, 5 or 6 8s. There's another 5 or 6 7s. There's maybe 10 6s. And then there are dozens of 5s, 4s, 3s, 2s, and 1s.
almost like the higher the number, the rarer it is.
So
All right.
8 was the highest again.
Yep.
8,
7,
yes.
8s.
So probably want to grab the 8s.
You said half a dozen 8s, right?
Yeah, 5 or 6 8s, 5 or 6 7s. They're spread all around. I'm just going to give you some fun text from the adventure that gives examples of some of the things that were found.
Well, I suppose we should aim for those, and I mean, we've got a basic description of them, and worst case scenario, I can astral perceive and see if they are stronger.
Probably don't want to try and go over there astral if there are watcher spirits.
And there's a level 9 reward.
Sorry, I definitely wouldn't be astral until we're actually in there, for sure.
What are the focus coordinates for the F8 entries?
They're, like I said, they're kind of spread out all over the place. There's not like clumpings together. It almost seems like it's as they were, what's the word, seized. That's the order that they went onto tables.
Well, I figured since there's 5 of us and there's about 8 F8s, if we
No, there's 5 or 6.
okay, so if we each chose a specific coordinate to go to take a look to find the high force value foci that might be most easiest to transport, it would reduce the amount of time we spend in peril.
True, but I mean, the description should let us know what's most likely, right? Like the drop of blood, I assume, is going to be much easier to transport than some of the other stuff.
Yeah, and
Not
some of the
not
foci
dry.
are. What's that?
Not if it's still wet.
Well, it's a levitating drop of blood.
So
Those were just examples of some of the random stuff.
So can we conceivably make a list of the highest value targets based on first strength and then second size?
Yes, you probably could. Most of the high force ones are big, obvious items because that's how mages are. Like
Maybe
we're
we
talking
can make
staves, we're talking staves, big heavy books, stuff like that.
Maybe a couple of us could make like a logic and intuition roll just to get some hits on how good we could do that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Logic and intuition.
Like, how many-
Yeah, I'll buy that.
how many of these metal boxes we're gonna need?
Yeah, points at Kenny.
Oh, what? You want just logic
Well,
and
logic.
intuition as a dice pool?
Yeah,
Yes, logic and intuition is a dice pool.
Which is funny. I added functionality to do that type of roll, but it's not on the live servers yet.
And I just gave you a slow pitch on that too.
I know, I saw that.
Oh, oops.
So we just like hit the dice and put how many dice we got.
Yeah, just do the D6 for now. Next week it should be in the system. I haven't pushed it, and they don't do their patches until Monday or Tuesday. That's something my Patreons learned about today, because I did it today. Patrons, rather.
I read it today.
That was actually something that was suggested in my conversation with Sarah yesterday.
Honestly, I wish there was a toggle to turn that off because that's going to get annoying.
What's that?
If I just want to roll agility, then I'm gonna have to. Then it's an extra click, and I'm
You can
all
hit
out.
you can hit enter because the default is +0. That's what I've gotten in the habit on with a lot of things. I just know, oh, if I click this, I got to hit enter once or twice.
Geez, it triggers even more dice than Kenny on that.
Poor Kenny. Kenny, you need to replace your dice. They suck.
Well, no, I mean, that time Andriga was the one who really sucked with her large dice pool.
And I'm going to do something weird just because there's no way in hell I'm going to give you 13 high-level foci.
Well, obviously, I assumed that she would keep. I mean, we're giving them to the Johnson.
So you can find 3 between the 7s and the 8s that are man portable. We'll say that are easily what's the word, obfuscated, hidden, easily concealed. That's the word I was looking for.
There you go. It can fit in a box.
Yes, they're boxable.
Jack's not greedy at all. He's. Is there like one that's like a Force 4 that's like a ballpoint pen?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yes, there is.
Okay,
well,
Jack's gonna make a mental note of that one.
well, let's face it. Clutch is gonna go up to the thing and find the Force 8 and anything around it that fits in the box too. He's obviously gonna scoop everything.
Just gonna sweep the table.
Yeah, anything that fits in the box is going in the box. That's what it.
Well, so the other thing that Jack is thinking of here is, can we make some replicas?
That's a good idea.
Can we choose objects which we can easily replicate? So if we can get in and out without being discovered, we could honestly slow down investigation.
What would the spell be to give it an aura? I mean, you would obviously have to have masking or something like that.
Well, the guards probably aren't all like can see astral, so they won't know if it's got an aura or not. They'll just know, hey, that pen's there or the pen's not there.
Well, the people in in the downstairs, you don't know anything about them.
Right. So we don't know if they can see it or not.
Well, but I mean, even if they can see it, when was the last time you went through and double checked to make sure that all of the memos in your office drawer were properly labeled?
Yeah, good point. One thing to keep in mind is the elevator took about 5 minutes going down, 5 minutes coming up. It's an old elevator. And you're not in the best part of town, but there is still going to be a response time to think about. As you may remember from earlier, there is a security line. And by
so
security line, that's not physical line that you can cut.
So there was like a Force 9 ward around this place. Is it just around this container, or is it further out?
It's literally around the elevator.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad. Because we're not going down the elevator, right? We're going this door.
Well, since it's not a physical line, conceivably we could just jam the alarm while we're busy down there.
I do have a rating 6 omnidirectional jammer, so.
Because if it's not got a hard line, then they're going to have to put up with noise just like anyone else.
Well, unless they have a hard line somewhere down there that goes somewhere else.
But I mean, we are trying to do this quiet without being known.
I'm just waiting to hear how you intend to get past guards that never take their eyes off of the front of the building, because that entrance is right in their sight lines.
Well, we got a roster of the guards. We can figure out who's gonna be the guards in the front. We can just go replace them, and we'll be the people looking at the front of the building.
And it is 10 o'clock now. I have a sneaky suspicion this may carry on until next week.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get in there without them seeing me. I'm reasonably certain.
Well, there are 4 guards down actually monitoring the stuff at any time, right? We just need to replace all 4 of them with us. And then we go down for our quote shift, and then we've basically got 8 hours to do whatever the hell we like down there, right?
I mean, that sounds about right to me.
With that guard roster we found, do we have enough information to locate these people and make sure they don't show up for their shift?
Yeah, we just disable them for a couple of days, lock them up or whatever, and then we impersonate them. We go down as a group of 4, and we are the guards there, so we can do whatever the hell we like, right?
So I just shared a handout with you. It is blank. It's called The Plan. One of you needs to make notes so that we all remember what the hell the plan is for next week.
Not
Okay.
it.
Alright, I'm not gonna be here next week, so I guess I'll stay in the van and have it protect you guys when you're coming out.
All right, so I will be the person to type up the plan. So, step 1.
We need to track down the guards that are going to be downstairs and make sure they don't show up for their shift.
All right. I'm gonna put step 1, replace lower level guards.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, huh? Step 3, profit.
Step
Underpants.
Or
2 would
I'm gonna put
probably
sub
be
level.
I'm talking to our silent viewers.
I think Jack's going to have to help us make sure that we look like these guards when we show up.
Okay. Step 0.5. Get guard. Well, no, we can just steal their uniforms.
Yeah, I mean, we're taking them out, so we just need to, take them
I
out,
mean,
get the
I
uniforms.
do have an alternative. It's going to take a few days, though.
What's your alternative?
So Jack still had this. He had some karma left, and he hadn't actually trained a spell. If we can find the Trid Phantasm spell, he could actually make it seem like there's nothing there. And we could just, like, as long as we could find a way to be quietly open the thing, they might not even know anything is happening right next to them. I mean, it is, 40, 50 meters away, so we've got some distance there.
I mean, I'm down for either or. If you want, we could also just uh try and sneak in at some point.
I mean, yeah, Trid Phantasm. It's with this spell, the caster projects a particular image onto an area of effect, along with accompanying sounds and smells. Maybe it's the image of an attacking dragon, or a peaceful garden, or of a specific individual, whatever it is. It has to be something the caster has seen before, and the phantasm must stay in their line of sight.
So, because it's short notice, you could speed learn the spell. But I'm going to say the first mission that you're using it in, if you do that next week, you would give anybody trying to see through it edge due to not having enough practice. Does that seem fair?
Also, can you move that spell, or is it just like you make a static image?
It's basically whatever I want. Then the phantasm affects every living being that sees the effect. Trid Phantasm also affects cameras, microphones, and other technology. So, like, I decide that you see nothing over here. These are not the Shadowrunners you're looking for.
It's a Jedi mind trick.
It
Why not?
literally is.
Where is that? What
What
page is that on?
What if you use that to make the guards think that there's someone streaking through the facility after hours, so the guards run off to go deal with that, and then we just sneak in?
It's 138, and I would, because that still increases the guards' attentiveness and reaction, and it's going to make them, investigate.
That's
I would
fair.
rather they were just complacent and, oh no, it's just another boring night watching nothing happening.
That's fair. So
And it was CRB 138.
Yeah, I was looking at Street Weird. That's why I couldn't find it. I was thinking, not Monoscape, maybe Monoscape.
the only downside to using that, though, that I see is then we still have to deal with the guards in the sub level. Whereas if we replace the guards in the sub level and then just take their shift, then we'll have the sub-level to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean on the Nat's camera, did the Nat notice any like recording devices down there, or
No,
was
it was just
the guy?
it was basically just a still frame picture, almost just tables. He said rows of tables with stuff on it. So,
Yeah, it's again, we're kind of nerfing what everybody thinks Nats can do just for the sake of the game, because elsewise, why do anything else? So
Somewhere,
yeah, they give you a grainy picture, and like I said, it's like a 1 megapixel picture. It's old school, but it gives you an idea that there's tables and people.
But there's no like black splotches. There could be a camera, or anything like that.
Nothing that was obvious from your point of view, or from the Nats' point of view, rather.
That's another thing. While I was in the host, did I see any of those devices?
You did not.
That is interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're just dependent on the 4 guards down there to do security, and we are those 4 guards, then we literally have the run of the place for that entire shift.
We will probably want to have Kenny do a sweep of the sub-level to look for like cameras that might be watching the area, but other than that, yeah.
like, and we've been watching this site for 2 days. Have people been going in and out?
Yeah, on shift changes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
not
why I
just
said
the
you know that there's 4 at the top. You suspect there's 4 or 5, maybe 6 people in the sub level.
We've been watching it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
So wouldn't we be able to have a pretty accurate idea of how many people are generally down there?
Yeah, but that means I have to reread to make sure I give the right number.
So we know, but and there's no, and it's like 24 hours. There's no lull period. There's no third shift.
I mean, there's 3 shifts, but it's always manned. Underground, there are 5 people, all awakened.
And
Okay.
I just realized this. Do those 5 people show up on the guard roster? Do we pretty sure?
That's true.
No, not all of them.
Are they staggered shift so that we'd have to, effectively take out multiple shifts, or are they all just changing in one big bolus?
Well, I mean, there's 3 shifts, so there's 3 sets of people. You got 4 on the surface, 5 underneath, so 9. There's 27 people, and I'm sure there's more than that because people have days off, etc.
Yeah, but my point being, everybody in the shift moves out each time, so
Yeah.
we only need to concentrate one shift. And
Well, they stagger. I'm gonna say that they stagger the ground based with the basement folk. Yeah, so like the surface shift changes, then 2 hours later the basement shift changes.
True,
That way
but
there's
all
never
the
a
basement
point.
shift. Yeah, but all the basement shifts in one hit. So
Yeah.
if we just good, that's what I mean. So we just replace that entire shift, and then because there's 5 of us, assuming that Clutch is just a bit brain dead and sitting in the background since his player will be AFK. But there's like 5 Shadowruns.
I have a new plan, but we need Clutch for it.
Well, if there's 5 people down there and there's 4 of us going down, we could leave one of them not, or we could have one of them be an actual guard, palm the stuff when they're not or distracted by somebody, but then also slip a focus into their pocket so that way later on we can use them as a patsy.
Complicated, but I like it. But I had an idea. We just foam explosive everything in there, and then we leave. We just blow it all to hell.
That's a good idea, especially if we leave things that look superficially like they might be them, because those things definitely won't survive the blast, and then they'll just assume they were destroyed.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
So I have step 2 as grab foci. Should step 3 be leave, and then step 4 explode
blow everything
sub
up.
level?
well, we set up explosives, but if we have one of them people actually with us, it'll be much harder to set up the explosives, I would assume, right?
Not if we knock them out first.
True, but then if there are any, hidden cameras or whatever, then that might give the game away.
I mean, if there are any hidden cameras setting foam explosives around the sub level, will give it away. But we could very easily knock him out with like stick and shock rounds, right? Then leave the sub level, go up carrying the knocked out guard, and say that an air spirit came in and knocked him out, and we fought it off. But we need to lock down the
Or we
um.
could turn him into a full patsy and claim that we knocked him out as the explosives blow up or something.
Oh, we
As
caught him messing around with stuff down there, and then blow up the plastic explosives. I like it.
yeah, and he's our perfect fall guy.
I would rather
So
we didn't get seen at all by people who were awakened.
That is a very valid point. Adding somebody that we're going to be working with directly for any amount of time in the basement is going to make things complicated.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
5 people in the basement are awakened. One of them does not change shift with the guards. They seem to only be there for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want to be there when that person's there.
She's a diminutive woman.
Can we search up any information on that person, like matrix searches or?
No. All you have is from your watching things. You know a name tag that just says Dr. Leslie, and you couldn't make out the last name.
Okay, yeah. So we should probably go when she's not there. Subdue everyone. Bind them, tie them up, set our explosives, get out of there, and detonate.
hopefully after removing them.
After removing the stuff, our stuff, yeah.
No, I mean the people that we've knocked out.
We can shove them in the elevator and send it up. It's a 5. Well, we need to get out of there. We need to be able to get out of there.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Like,
But
we'll put
like
them in the elevator, close the door, they'll be fine.
we could put them in the elevator and not like leave them in the elevator when we detonate it.
Yeah, I'm not talking like enough explosives to bring the roof down. I'm talking enough explosives to destroy everything on the tables.
That makes me wonder, what does it take to destroy foci?
There's also this maintenance shaft too, in case we need a second way out. But yeah.
So like, I don't think foci in Shadowrun are like D&D. Like literally, if it was a wooden stick, you could snap it and break it.
What proportion of the top people are awakened? There was only like 2 out of the 4 awakened, right?
Yeah, something like that.
On the surface,
Yeah.
two of the 4 are awakened, and the other 2 are mundane.
Yeah. So if we're basically replacing 4 of the 5 below, then there's only 3 awakened that we have to be worried about. And if yeah, go for it.
If you guys are worried about having an awakened person remember your aura, Kai is mundane. Kai can knock out the awakened person, and then at the worst, you only have to worry about them trying to hunt down a mundane person whose features they're not necessarily going to know.
Yeah, I'm also
and
too. So
Well,
I've got
so and the other side of that is they can't. If we are completely covered head to toe, they can't see auras.
That too. They wouldn't know the difference between you and Tom, Dick, or Harry.
Is that the case, Chuz, or would they still be able to read your auras if you're...
That feels kind of cheesy, but I can't say it's not the case. If you use magic or anything that you've cast magic on leaves a residue, that's going to be a problem.
So, I mean, all we have to do is make sure we knock out the last person. If you guys are what we can do is have you 3 begin grabbing the foci while Kai goes and knocks out the last guard, and then we don't really need to worry about anything as far as an awakened person seeing what we're doing, because you 3 on the surface will at least look like you're doing your jobs.
Exactly, and I can try and mask my aura to look like, well, I'm not sure if masking lets me look like somebody else's, or if I can look like spirits, right? Can I? I think there's another meta magic to actually make your aura look like somebody else's, isn't there? Like, the masking meta magic says I can make my aura look like a Foki or a spirits, but I think there's another one specifically to mimic someone else's signature, isn't there?
Yes, there is a time limit ski. I don't remember what the times are. I think it's tied to your magic rating.
Well, I know it deteriorates naturally, but there's a way to increase how fast it deteriorates.
Well, there's a meta magic that affects that. I'm not sure if it's in CRB or if it's in Streetwear.
Yeah, but
and there's an action also. There's a scrub aura
Yeah,
whatever
that's-
action.
there's a scrub action. Oh yeah, okay. So make clean conscientious casters can clean up behind them through the cleanse major action. When choosing this action, the player scrubs traces of a single spell or other magical effects from the astral plane. Each cleanse action acts like an hour of time passing. In terms of the aura fading. So I think it was a person with 6 magic, it would take 6 cleansing actions to delete it.
Yeah, and that's just that one thing. And it says some of these fade over time. The astral glow from spells lasts for a number of hours equal to the magic rating of the caster. Conscientious casters can clean up behind them through the cleanse major action.
Yeah, so it'd be 3 turns for someone with 2 major actions a turn to clean 1 spell.
So no spell casting.
Well, that's the other thing is somebody, a forensic mage would have to get there before that faded away to read it anyway. Or a spirit, which even if the place was destroyed, spirits can get in.
So probably shouldn't use the that spell that you were talking about, Jack.
Well, no, I was thinking as soon as we get through as soon as we get underground, I could just spend 3 actions to cleanse it.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
I mean,
literally, I
that's not bad.
stop for 10 seconds while you guys are heading down.
Yeah.
But don't you? I would think you're talking about cleaning the Trid Phantasm.
Yes.
I think you would have to be able to see the area or sense the area, so the door would have to be open.
That's where the fiber optic mage goggles come in.
They still have to get through the door.
You know, timey-wimey things. We'll figure it out.
And I haven't seen any notes show up on the plan, so hopefully you just haven't hit save.
I just haven't hit save yet.
Okay,
I'm
good.
on step 4, which is plant explosives, unless we're going to go a different route than knockout. So far I've replaced sub-level guards, grab foci, knock out last guard, step 4, plant explosives.
I guess. I mean, are we going to try and frame that mask guard?
I mean, we can do that regardless of whether we explode the base or the sub-level. Do we
Or
not
just
want
leave.
to destroy the sub-level?
Oh no, I agree. Destroying the remaining foci is probably okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
If nothing else, it makes Ghostwalker look like an incompetent if he's promised to give back any of his foci to somebody.
So then step 5.
Leave whilst it explodes.
How are we going to make the remaining guard Patsy? Are we going to just leave them?
You know what? They gotta have lockers down there. Let's just take some extra focuses and dump them in a locker.
Well, aren't we blowing up the
Just the tables.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to blow up the whole place. I just want enough explosives to blow up the tables. Because if it's a 5-minute elevator ride, the guards up top may not even notice.
So, if we're only blowing up the tables, wouldn't it be better to have the guard we knock out look like they passed out from while they were like taking foci from their locker and putting them in like their uniform or something, rather than leaving them in the elevator?
That sounds like planning that we can't necessarily make with the knowledge we have.
I just
All
want
right.
to say something. This is how supervillains are created.
Yes.
You
So
realize now that we're the villains?
No, not you guys. The poor sap that you're gonna frame.
no, we're gonna destroy his life for no reason other than to make ours mildly easier. So plant explosives, step 5 leave, step 6 set off explosives, step 7 profit.
Yeah.
And don't forget, Chuz, obviously one of the guards is purely evil. Like, he kicks kittens for fun, right? He's the one who make the patsy, right? He's
Wait,
evil, right?
that's
No,
evil?
that the guard that we're making a patsy has raised his children to go online and bully other children about their low self-esteem problems.
And there's a detonator cap for the foam. It didn't say anything about a timer, but I guess I could rig one up, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a timer for a bomb would be tough. Yeah.
I mean, you just need a clock.
Yeah.
Detonate sub level.
So, Chuz, from our
Anything else we want to do?
Well, from our observations, Chuz, do any of the guards that go down there look like an evil prick who we would want to throw under the bus?
I mean, they're the man. Obviously, they're all the evil pricks. No?
No kitten kickers or puppy punches or anything like that?
I'm telling you.
The guy with the eye patch seems pretty evil because he's got an eye patch.
Everyone with an eye patch is evil.
That's Steve. Steve is the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Steve even invites his coworkers that he doesn't like to his cookout because they need friends.
Steve adopts and helps recovery of Bargus.
A poor orphan who was
Yeah, that too. But he helps recover Bargus that have been used in illegal animal fighting rings. He's a nice guy.
So he's obviously covering up something. He's probably a serial killer.
Maybe.
Definitely got away with murder. But he doesn't talk about it because what's the point in covering something up if you're just going to tell people?
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds like a little bit of personal experience there.
I wouldn't know what you're talking about. Chuz, I just posted the plan, or saved the plan if you want to take a look at it. Other people can too. Tell me if you think I missed something.
Oh, I definitely need to look at it so that I can counter everything you plan to do.
Yes. Wait.
Yeah, but there's parts of the plan we're not telling you.
Say what?
Oh, I figure you've got that secret chat channel that I would never look in.
It gets used all the time.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
does.
It actually gets used a little bit.
Detonate sublevel. Wow.
That's not going to generate heat, is it?
Absolutely not.
Well, I say detonate sublevel, but we're actually only going to be blowing up the tables with the foci, but that's still probably going to generate heat.
But detonate sublevel just sounds more fun.
It does, doesn't
It's
it?
dramatic.
All right, so learning a spell is 12 days divided by the number of hits you get on a sorcery plus intuition test.
Okay, so do that test.
So first I would increase my intuition.
No.
I can't increase attributes.
No, listen to my logic here. This is an in progress. You're basically, as those 12 days are progressing, you're doing the studying. So you would have to do that every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of the point.
That's like
I
I get up in the morning, I cast increase intuition every day of your life.
It's literally what Ritalin is used for in college.
Ritalin? Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah. That and coffee. Lots and lots
Coffee,
of
I understand. So go ahead and do your
I just have Adderall.
your
Sorry.
roll. And it's 12 divided by the hits, so you're probably gonna get 12 hits.
Yeah, and can I pre-edge this?
Yeah, but you won't have any edge. I don't know. I feel like that makes it too easy, but I don't care.
I just want to do well on this.
Yeah, you just want to do it in one.
Oh my gosh!
And you pre-edged.
The karma is coming.
That is awesome. No, that was my karma from just being a pushover and letting you guys do whatever you want.
Okay, I should have gone rerolls.
That's pretty awful. Look at all those ones.
I'm just gonna see.
Look at all those. Look at all the ones. All those ones. It almost looks like the dice were being sorted by number. They all occurred at once.
If I would have done rerolls, I would have gotten
3 more.
Yeah, I would have gotten 3 more.
No, because you would have.
I got nothing on. I got nothing on the pre-edge.
Yeah, well, you would have had 17 dice. Well, yeah, you wouldn't have had that. You'd had 15. 13. You'd have had 13 for rerolls. Oh no, the dice pool is the total, including the pre-edge.
Yeah, it was 13 plus. Yeah, 13. I would have had 13 for the reroll. No. You're right. I would have had only 11. Yeah, we had it right. So yeah, I would have had 5 hits if I would have just used the after action.
That's where the edge mini game kind of gets you. Is you know, you're like, I want those 6s, but the chance of getting those 6s is a lot lower than getting a bunch of 1s to 4s and then being able to re-roll all of those.
I completely forgot my edge pool is like 2 on this guy too.
Yeah, but to be fair, the spread that Jack got on that roll is actually about as likely as getting a lot of 6s, because he got 5 1s.
Yeah, exactly. He just had the opposite.
Because if those had been 6s, then that pre-edging would have been like...
Ooh, man, if I'd had bad luck, it would have been a glitch.
Yes, it would have been. It's funny when I'm testing my test dummy character that you might see me post pictures of, Test Chummer. He has bad luck because I need to test glitches and critical glitches. Well, glitches on things. Critical glitches can't be caused by bad luck.
All right, so it's going to take 6 days for Jack to figure out this spell.
So that's probably not enough time because my thinking was, I didn't say it because you were talking, but my thinking was the guard roster is probably only good for like a week, and you're probably on like day 2 of that.
Fair enough.
So I will say that if you wanted to speed learn that, like I had said before, you can speed learn that spell, but you're going to give any observers an edge on this next
that's
run.
a lot to do.
Yeah.
I'm okay
I feel
with
like that spell is going to be a really good thing if we're in trouble.
So can you do me a favor when you put that on your character sheet, Jack? Just make a note that next session observers get an edge due to learning fast.
Yes, I certainly will. And I still have the sheet buddy open.
Oh, is it working for you? Because it wasn't working for me until I fixed some stuff.
Yeah, it seems to be working for me.
Well, I was using it for IC, and I changed the attribute names for the IC stuff from IC underscore whatever to just whatever. So it's like IC underscore name, IC underscore notes, and they were not copying. And I was updating it on my server, but when it wasn't updating what my browser was seeing for some reason. It was really weird. But I have fun problems like that. Oh, that's enough. So are we finished with planning and everything? It is 10:30.
Sounds good.
All right, in that case, I am going to shut down the stream until next week. And hopefully we'll see more people next week. The people that watch this during the week, maybe they'll come and give us some subs because we could really use some follows. If we get to 50 follows, we can have fun things for people watching to do, and the runners and the D&D crew get a reward. Anyway, have a great weekend, and we will see you next stream.